Hey, everybody. It is 2:45 a.m. here in Baton Rouge. It is April 22nd, 2021. Boy, have we got some stuff to talk about. Two important articles tonight. I'm going to wait for some people to get in the chat. Um, and something in my personal life that has changed dramatically from Fox News, from the Fox News report on directed energy weapons attacks with Susan Collins talking, and then the other representative from Florida saying they need to find out what's happening and stop these things. If you are in chat, welcome. Um, I'm doing pretty bad. My brain's doing pretty bad. My attackers, like I'll tell you guys, I had a situation today. So we got some people in chat. Let me wait a second. Let me just wait a second. What I really wanted to do, I really want to play music coming in, 'cause I got a lot of songs that would be really cool. But I'm always just like, oh, I could get a copyright strike. I'd probably get a copyright, just a copyright thing where they take the money from the video, which I don't make any ad revenue, so it wouldn't matter. But sometimes they do copyright strikes, so I'm always like, I don't want to really play a song. Hey, Gloria. Gloria says, "What are you doing up so late, sweetheart?" I just woke up. I woke up at about 12:30 tonight because I woke up at like 11 the night before. I stayed up all night to go to my aunt's and sit with my grandma, which she's not doing good. She can't sit up. Like it makes my grandma tired just to sit her up right. So she's not doing very well. Usually we talk and stuff. Usually we'll talk, but she slept the whole time, and then when she was awake, it's like she's just talking about the pain she's in. She's kind of incoherent. So that's really bad. That's a bad thing. Um, However, hey Zeta Zeta Rex is waiting for good news to hear. You're gonna get it tonight. You're gonna get it tonight because we got two articles. There's a little caveat that we have to talk about, and we have to talk about what they may do with this little caveat to maybe try and screw us over. You know, America, our countries maybe will try and betray us again, and just give the governmental workers who got hit help, but then just say, I'll show it to y'all. It's a little bit of negativity on it, but it doesn't matter because the things that are coming out, other things will happen, even if they railroad us just on this incident, which I don't think they'll be able to. Also, I will be reading. Where is that? Oh, I'll be reading a little bit of the first draft that I wrote for my letter to Marco Rubio, which I'm just going to use as a template for Mark Warner and then all of the other senators on the Intelligence Committee, which I'm going to have an article tonight with all of their names, right? So you can write an email, get a template, and then just send it to all of them, which I'm sure every TI in this country and other countries are just swamping their offices with, right? So at this point, these senators in the Senate Intelligence Committee, they for sure 100% know that we are being experimented on. And a lot of them are very moral people. So we've got a lot of very moral people knowing about this, but like, oh, what do I do about it? We got that kind of situation going on. Hey, Alan. Alan says, great to see you, Kyle. Hi, TI family. Hello, my Wolverines. We are reborn. We are reforged. I'm excited. Like I got a feeling, guys. I haven't had this feeling in a long time. Like I've always been like hopeful that something would happen, but with what's going on, there's no logical probability that this doesn't change for the better for us in so many ways. There's no probability of it staying the same. No, 0%, negative percentage probability points. I'm serious. And I know for a lot of us that have been hit so hard, it's still hard to see. You know, you're like, oh, well, governmental workers are getting help, but then they're just going to say that we're crazy, or we're just saying that we're targeted because of all this that happened, right? I'm like, I'll show y'all later. That's not gonna fly. That's not even gonna fly, because we were reporting this. Like I was talking to my dad, in 2012 telling him I was being hit by non-ionizing microwave radiation. And hey, DePlume says, so glad I made it. I'm glad you made it too. And Jeffo says, what's up, brother? Good to see you, homie. Where have you been, man? You been working? I think you've been working. I hope you're doing good, brother. I hope y'all are all doing good. Wormbrain Zombie says, cool stream. Fox News just did a thing where they said they had proof people in the government that 16 people, no, it's 130. 130 were hit with, that's what they're reporting is 130, but in actual reality, millions and millions, and we don't know how many people around the globe are being experimented on and tortured with these, but they're saying they got 130 verified reports, right? What it means is they probably got like over 500 reports from governmental workers, but then they took 130 and they're like, well, we can establish these. Some of these other people, they don't have enough proof or evidence that it's happening, right? Thank you, Gloria. She lived a really good life. She's a very strong woman. She taught me how to be strong, and you know, the whole family loves her, and she lived a long time with a husband that just really loved her. They never got divorced or anything. Two of the smartest daughters. They raised them very well. Her legacy will live on, you know, in me and my mom and our whole family. But it's hard because she's a person that when she's hurting, she doesn't want to bother anybody, and she doesn't talk about like the pain that she's going through, because she like got all of her colon cut out from colon cancer, doesn't complain a bit about her stomach pain, and now she's like, we want to get her stuff and do stuff for her, right? But if you ask her like, hey, do you want this? Do you want me to get you something? She's like, no, I don't want nothing, because she doesn't want to be a burden, so it's tough. It's because she doesn't say, you know, she doesn't complain about like stuff that's like death type pain and things like that. But we have nurses coming in to check on her and stuff like that. But it just seems like it's tough because she's so strong. Like genetically, she's just so strong. Like physically, she's so strong. Just mentally, she's so strong. So I see her getting older and kind of the process taking place of when you get older, you die. But for her, it's a very slow process because she's so strong, and that's even, I guess it's tough, you know, it's really tough, and none of us know, you know, we're just, you know, make her, the nurses were saying it today, what I was kind of thinking is just make her as comfortable as possible and just be there for her if she wants to tell us anything or we want to tell her something, and then that's all we can do, you know. I tried to get those probiotics. They've been working for a couple of weeks, but then her stomach started hurting again. So I think with those probiotics, maybe your stomach like gets used to it or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Just Aaron says, I heard it was over 100. It's like 130, right? It's like 130 people, but they probably got reports like just from I'm just talking about just from governmental workers, because they're getting reports from regular citizens too. But they probably got about, you know, over 500. But then they said we can verify these 130 because of certain kind of evidences, but these may not be real, right? Which they probably were really real. And once you even get 130 verified reports, then everybody all over the world suddenly gets really courageous, right? Because everybody else is reporting it, right? So that's a really good thing. Everybody's going to get a lot of courage to come up and speak because the front runners are already done, right? These governmental workers that came on. We were really the front runners for saying it's happening to us, but in this, I'm going to maybe get a little bit mad because what I'm seeing here is that our lives don't mean anything, and all the people are going to sacrifice our lives for this experimentation because, like, it's just too many people being murdered, but then they're going to take care of these governmental workers with monetary help, with monetary help from their job, like, monetary resources, and they're going to get them medical help, too. They're human beings that are being hit with remote microwaves. They're getting monetary help because of this, and what was my attackers? They're getting monetary help and they're going to get medical help. We're human beings being hit by it too. We don't just deserve that. That is, we are owed that. We are owed that. If other people that are getting hit, they're just people. I don't care about the government worker part. They're human beings that live in America they're getting medical help and monetary help. They were hit less. They were hit for a shorter amount of time than us, and not as bad. They didn't have as bad a torture, and they weren't hit for as long as we were, right? And you know, maybe their torture was pretty bad, but I'm just saying, like, we've been going through it way longer. Like, they get hit on their little pinky finger with a microwave, and they get monetary resources and medical help. And what happens to us when we're getting brutal? My brain is like brutally changed from you know, microwave experimentation to my brain and my nervous system. We are owed money, we are owed medical care, we are owed this help. You know, the things coming out, it's like there's hiccups in them that I'm like, ooh, they're gonna stall helping us, right? But then there's things that the UNs can grab onto that are going to spread to other countries and stuff like that. There's no probability of this not changing this whole scenario with these weapons and how people see them and how people see us, right? My only kind of doubt is, like, when's the program going to end? Because I know it's going to have to end eventually, but I'm like, how much time is that going to take? How much are they going to stall on this crap? But I know that we should be able to get better help. People will understand it more. Let's get into these articles. They're so important. We've already been going for 11 minutes. Hey, Lee, what's up, man? Lee says, what's up? Just noticed you're live. Hey, I meant to text you because I saw your text and you're like, hey, man, do a live stream tonight. I meant to text you, but I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm glad you got a notice because I completely forgot. You're the reason I'm doing a live stream, Lee. Because you texted me and you're like, hey man, I'm doing bad, I kind of need a live stream, and then we need to go over these important articles anyway, so I was like, I feel like real crap, my brain's having trouble, you know, focusing. They can just freeze it up. It's like they do the vagus nerve stimulation where I'm like fight or flight, and I can't get comfortable. Like, I cannot get comfortable. My brain is just, my brain's going, it's like my brain's being driven, but I can't, it's not like, oh, it's not like I'm focused and my thoughts are going and I'm doing a bunch of stuff. It's just like, stress, psychic driving, and then fight or flight, you know. And that, they did that today, after me and my dad talked, which I was high as a kite after that, on just me and my dad's relationship. You guys got to hear this, especially you, Lee, with, I know, you know, with your dad and stuff. Amazing. Hell has frozen over. My dad is completely talking to me about this stuff as if it's just like, yep, it's happening. You know, I think the Fox report kind of put it over the edge, right, for my dad. He was kind of thinking it was real, but he was still like, I don't want to increase my son's delusions or whatever. Today we talked after all this stuff that's happened, and he's like, yeah. He actually said this. I was like, yeah, I'm really hopeful. You know, they're going to take care of those government workers medically, and they're going to give them money and stuff like that. They're admitting that it's happening, right? And he was like, he said this, and he wasn't trying to discourage me. He was just trying to, like, say, because I think he's been kind of looking into it. He's like, don't get too disappointed. It may take a while for them to get to you guys, right? To admit that it's happening to you guys. Like, so he has an understanding of the corruption and how they're hiding the experimentation. Amazing. Like, the feeling of our relationship just, like, opened up. You know how you're connected to your family? And me and my dad, for years and years, it's like, he thinks I'm mentally ill, so we talk in this certain way, and he's gone through his targeting. I know he was hard. He doesn't think he was, but his aneurysm and everything like that, and it's been bad. It's been like this link between us has been corrupted, and it opened up. And our relationship is going to be like, he knows I'm not mentally ill now, so we'll be able to, we had good conversations before, but it's just a change, you know. It's just it's a sign to me, because my dad is like the last person to believe in any kind of conspiracy fact, you know, weird stuff that's going on, you know. So it's a really good sign, like a really, really good sign. I just hope he's not, hey Stacy says hello everyone. What I hope that because my mom kind of believed me long before he did, right? So what I'm hoping is my mom doesn't give him a bunch of crap for not believing me, because I know that they probably talked about this all the time, and he was like, oh no, I think Kyle's just, well, but anyway, it's good. It's good. My parents have helped me even though they thought I was mentally ill. Yeah, we are all awake at this time in the morning. It's 3 o'clock right now. Let's get to these articles, guys. I can talk to y'all in chat all day. Just Aaron says they owe us so much for how long we've dealt with it. They got hit, but they probably haven't dealt with everything else we deal with every day. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Just Aaron. It's like maybe they got headaches. Maybe they got the ringing in the ears. Did they get the V2K? Probably not. Probably none of the governmental workers got well, maybe some of them did. Maybe some of them that they're not up on the mainstream news giving their testimonies. Maybe some of them did get hit by V2K. And I would not be surprised if some of those, out of the 130 governmental workers that reported this, right, being hit by this stuff, I would not be surprised if a big percentage of them were actually hit by America, by American contractors. You want to talk about national security issues, let's talk about that. There are so many, for covering this up right now, there are so many more national security issues that go along with that than releasing the information of this program. Like, they say there's a national security issue with letting people know that they're experimenting on people and how many people are getting hit and what countries have these weapons and what they're doing with them, right? But the real national security issue now is this huge, just blown up Cold War where everyone's getting hit because greed, right? Greed is propelling more manufactured weapons, more testing. Data is king, right? People can sell data for a lot of money, so you're mapping brains with your integrated directed energy weapon systems, your integrated neuro weapon systems. You're a contractor taking contracts from from these bigger contractors and then the intelligence agencies, and that's a lot of money, so they don't want it to stop. So the greed has just made this come to the surface more. They got caught with their greed. You see, the MK Ultra was done in this very controlled fashion. It was just the CIA and front companies, right? But they weren't trying to like make a bunch of money off of it right off the bat. So it was like they kind of controlled it, and that didn't even stay covered up, right? So there's no chance of this, no chances, snowball's chance, no chance. Not even a snowball's chance in hell. Because a snowball does have a chance in hell if maybe it falls in a hole or something, and then like hell was built like maybe on a thing that floats in space, and then the snowball gets through the hole and then goes in space. Okay, I'm done with that metaphor. Let's get to these articles, guys. It's some hopeful stuff, but I'll show y'all kind of where I'm a little bit angry and just wondering what they're gonna do with people reporting it. We're looking out for psychosomatic reports, right? And I hope they can't do that to all of us, because all of us were talking about this long before the Cuban embassy attack. Neuroweapon says DARPA is the only one smart enough to come up with the brain research like this. Yeah. And every country has its DARPA, like Russia has its DARPA. Okay, guys, let me get to these articles. You guys go ahead and chat and text. I'll talk and chat, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys after we finish these. Yeah, Gloria says it's hard to be patient, waiting for them to finally see. Those senators, all those senators on the Intelligence Committee, and there's a lot of moral people in there, I'm sure that they were briefed that there's experimentation and torture. It was probably said in a different way, but I'm sure that they know that the United States has these weapon systems and that it's a national security issue to talk about the United States using them. And I know that Marco Rubio has deducted, at least if he wasn't told directly, that people are being hit by these all over the United States, right? DePlume says most of us are connected to sound people, medical people, or government people that they want to data dump us for. I don't know, man, because like my grandpa was not naval intelligence, he was a naval engineer. And my dad doesn't have any like army things or medical things. So my family's not medical, military, or sound or anything like that. With mine, it was just, well, my dad did, he did have a telecom business. He did have a communications business, and then I've told people this, let's not get into this, but he was trying to buy up broadband signals for internet, right? They were going to buy like a big internet thing, and then something happened. I think I think he hasn't told me this, but it seems like the military wanted those bands that his company the investors were trying to buy. So he was the star witness in the case because they got screwed over. Some company didn't give them the right equipment to actually broadcast the frequencies and stuff like that, and so they were suing them, and he was the star witness. And before, like, the court case went on, and he was about to go to court, and that was like my 33rd birthday happened. The day after that, a week after that, he got the aneurysm. A day after that, he got the high-pitched sound in his head, and he was about to go to court on that. So I kind of wonder if that had anything to do with all of this. Yeah, but DePlume says my brother's in government, but he works at a federal court. Like, and he started working at a federal court after I got targeted and after the stuff with my dad. So just in recent years, my brother's the guy who he's the accountant. Like, so if the jury needs to go to lunch, he's the accountant who does the balance sheets. He does all the money stuff for the court, like in the judge and everything like that, and like if fines need to be paid and everything. So he's like the main accountant guy of that. He's a really smart guy. I was just thinking about how my brother. Let's get to these articles, guys. I'll come back and chat in a second. My tablet's not charged. I forgot about that. Can I get y'all's? I can get it on the phone, huh? I can just get it on the phone. Let's just do it on the phone. Yeah, because my tablet's like 0% charged. Let me see if I can. My iPhone storage is full. Let's see. Yeah, I can just see y'all's chats on my phone. There we go. Let's see. Ah, perfect. I should have charged my tablet. Let's see. There might be some audio on this page. Okay, guys. So here it is, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how when like I was just talking to my dad, and then I went to my phone and I was just like looking up, like I was just randomly looking up. I put I think I did put Havana syndrome in. I said senators Havana syndrome, and then pulled up this article. So my point is there's so much stuff coming out. You can just like go to your Google every day and find out something new about this, right? So lawmakers unveil legislation to give Havana syndrome victims better medical care. This is the thing about this, and I've said this, Havana syndrome is propaganda. They're calling it Havana syndrome to keep people thinking, oh, it's just the people who got hit in Cuba, right? But they're really talking about everybody who got hit everywhere, and they're just calling it Havana syndrome. And I'll tell you how this works, because I was talking to my dad, and I showed him this. I said, lawmakers unveil legislation to give Havana syndrome victims better medical care. And he goes, okay, so so that stuff that happened in Cuba, they're gonna help those people out. And I go, no, Dad, it's like everybody who's getting hit with it all over the world, they're gonna do legislation for them, but they're calling it Havana syndrome. So it's propaganda. Like, it's propaganda to make people think it's a smaller group, right? And it works, because my dad was like, oh, it's just those people in Cuba. Yeah, Just Aaron says maybe we should start calling our videos Havana Syndrome. That's a good idea. And when I was talking to Brian, this is a crazy idea. I said, why don't we go to Cuba? We go to Cuba, we're still being targeted, but then we come home, and we go, oh, I got targeted when I was in Cuba. I have Havana syndrome, right? But then it's like it would negate all the targeting that we went through for so many years if you said I just went to Cuba and got targeted. So you really couldn't make that work, I don't think. But yeah, Havana syndrome's what they're calling it. Maybe we should call it like Havana syndrome, and then afterwards, global cyber torture. To correct their propaganda. Like put the propaganda word in, but then put like dash global cyber torture. To like correct the propaganda. Is there a way to do that? Like when there's propaganda, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean I can't think of it, but you like basically you're like, okay, yeah, this is the word they're using, but then you put a word right after it that goes ahead and shows that it's propaganda. Words are very hard tonight, guys. I'm gonna blame it on the targeting and just waking up. So Rose says someone said you can only claim Havana syndrome if you're a government employee. She may have been. No, people are reporting it. The only ones that they're gonna like say they say 130 people have reported this. The only ones that they're gonna say who have reported it are gonna have to be government workers right now, right? They're gonna do that, but I don't see how they're just gonna get around us getting hit too. And I'm gonna read y'all a letter that it sucks. It's like a first draft, but I'm gonna kind of read y'all what I'm gonna send to Marco Rubio. What you've also got to remember is so many targeted individuals all over the world are bombarding these senators and letting them know that citizens are being hit by this stuff, so they know. So they know, right? Okay, who wrote this? Oh, how do you get this off of there? Never mind. Okay, so a bipartisan group of lawmakers on Wednesday unveiled legislation to boost medical care for those afflicted with Havana syndrome, charging that Trump administration failed to do enough to care for CIA officers and State Department diplomats struck by the inexplicable illness. It's not an illness. I mean, they're speaking about it incorrectly on purpose. You see, and you'll notice how the mainstream papers really dilute things and propagandize things, but then when these senators speak, they're actually speaking about it the right way. They don't have as much information, but the deal is, this is what I think, the moral senators that do learn about citizens being hit, I don't think they're going to have any kind of qualms unless somebody comes to them and says you cannot speak about the experimentation of regular citizens, or that regular citizens are being hit and like threatens them. I think if that doesn't happen, some of these senators are pretty bold, and when they figure out stuff, they say it on the news, right? Like Susan Collins was talking about this stuff and saying people are being hit by microwave weapons and it's causing brain injury. That's a huge step. That is a huge step for over the years what we've been going through. Here it is. Maine GOP Senator Susan Collins and the leaders of the Senate Intelligence Committee introduced a bill on Thursday that would authorize the CIA and the State Department to provide injured employees with more financial support for brain injuries. We need to get the bill and look at the language. We need to get the bill and look at the language, but I'll show y'all at the bottom. House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, a California Democrat, is introducing a companion measure in the lower chamber. Okay, so a companion measure in the is he a representative? So in the House of Representatives, they're going to introduce a companion measure too, and we need to look at the language of this stuff because for legal reasons, if they do legislation and they say it a certain way, we can bring that to court. We're being hit, and then we can use it to get help, right? We really need to I'm not good with details. Some of you guys are. Some of you men and women are really good with details. We need to really, really like look for the details, which then we can use in court, then we can use at the UN, then we can use when we're writing these senators and stuff like that. If you know what I mean, you know. While an initial wave of incidents beginning in 2016 affected U.S. personnel abroad in Cuba, China, and Russia, there have been new possible cases reported on U.S. soil. There's millions of people, maybe more than that, around the world being attacked by these weapons for various reasons, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped, and well, I won't go into that right now. I'll go into that at the end if I can remember it. Okay, including 2 potential incidents. CNN first reported that occurred late last year near the White House. The Senate Intelligence Committee said last month that the number of incidents where U.S. officials have suffered mysterious symptoms consistent with Havana syndrome. I can't believe they're going to keep calling it Havana syndrome. It's so obvious that it's propaganda because it's happening in China, it's happening in Russia, it's happening in America, it's happening in all these places, yet they still keep the name Havana syndrome, even though they know people in Russia were hit by it, right? So it ain't no Havana syndrome because you have all these people everywhere. It's such obvious propaganda to make it seem smaller and relegate it to a smaller group. Like they're stalling. They're just stalling. $60,000 troops? Terrorized Germany says, yes, I heard about these 60,000 troops, secret army which worked in and outside the U.S. Illegal with special operation. What's the name of this special army? Well, there's contractors and, there's military and ex-military. They work for contractors inside the United States to torture American citizens, to do, gang stalking operations and stuff like that. I guess, I don't know if it'd be that many people. I'm sure there's a lot of people involved on that side. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about 60,000. Tyler says, maybe something, hey Tyler, maybe something we can hope for or not, I don't know, but it is interesting. Okay, the troops. So they're actually troops that are trying to help America, to save America? Yeah, Rose, I think that's, I think they're going to take reports from citizens, but I'm worried that they're going to just call them psychosomatic. Let's read the article and we'll talk about it. They're not. If they do, like, okay, at the end, I'll go off. I was happy today because of me and my dad, and then I came back and I was pretty pumped up, and then like I read the ending of this article and I go, if they do that to us, all bets are off. And I ain't talking about violence, but I'm talking about like I will have no respect in those senators who think that they are moral. They are evil. They need to find some way to stop this murder. It's been declared. This thing that is happening, these attacks all over the world, the United States just declared it a world crime. They said governmental workers are being hit by microwaves. It's causing brain injuries. We need to find out who's doing it, and we need to stop this because it's a crime, right? So people are hitting us. They're talking about they need to find the people who are doing this, and that means anybody who's doing it. So factually, you can tell all of your attackers, I'm sure they're looking at me through remote neural monitoring, they are all declared by the United States to be criminal. They are declared criminals. Now, you guys understand that? The implications of what's happening, they're going to talk about it a certain way. In the news, they're going to soften it up and misdirect and everything like that. But the real incidents, the inherent nature of the incidents going on are huge. And we're the ones who are going to have to push on the reality of these things coming out, right? Because they're going to try and soften it up and, we'll just take care of these 130 people. But let's think about this. Let's think, how many people, there's fruit flies in my place and there's fruit flies in my aunt's place too. My dad and mom where like there's all these fruit flies. I guess it's fruit fly season. Are fruit flies like a good omen? Does it mean like something good's gonna happen? I know bluebirds are. No, think about this, guys. Okay, I remember what I was talking about. Think about this. You got 130 reports right now. You got all these senators' offices being flooded by emails and letters. In a month, what do you think that number is going to be? That 130 number. I'm taking a guess. I'm lowballing it. It's going to be like 500 reports. There's going to be way more people. There's going to be thousands of people reporting this, but then they're going to like pick some that are like governmental workers where it seems like another country hit them, right? And there's probably going to be like 500 at the end of next month, at least 500, lowballing it. It's just rolling out, you know. Yeah, Stacy says Jedi seriously have to be. That's how I think of myself. That's how I think of you guys too. We are Jedi. It's so true, man. You have to become a Jedi. You have to become like something just so strong and reach for things unknown to get through this. And adapt and evolve, you know, in ways that you don't even know that you're doing, but then you're like, you know, it's kind of like, well, I won't go into comic book stuff. Slack TI says, nah, you just have old energy drink bottoms attracting fruit flies, LOL. I've always had that, though, Slack. I've always had my energy drinks just sitting around. Maybe so. Maybe so. Well, yeah, Stacy says switch to coffee, Kyle. I really should. Coffee's a lot healthier. It doesn't have all like the additives and everything. Tyler said there's a centralization move going on. Yeah, there's a New World Order move going on, and they want to destroy America. They're making governmental agents and intelligence agencies and these people microwaving and kind of the communist neighbor watchers and the communist cyber-placed agents, right? They're creating this system to implode America. There's never been a time where some kind of brutal, we're all watching each other and people are being tortured and people are just signing up to gang stalk and stuff. That situation does not bring peace to a nation. It never does. It's happened in the future, but without good technology, it always implodes the nation. It always destroys it, right? So the New World Order, the globalists, they're getting the Pentagon and all these people just to follow orders, but their orders are to destroy America because they're going with a master plan where it's not just for America. Like the guy on my B2K says he doesn't give an F about America. Like he doesn't care that America's being destroyed, and he's an ex-military Mason. Like so from what I can tell from him, like he's going through a master plan. He's in on the master plan. He doesn't know where it's headed, but he is taking orders from that cult rather than taking orders from like America, like a chain of command that wants to save America, right? The chain of command that's in charge, like with the Pentagon and DARPA and all these intelligence agencies, they're trying to destroy America. They've destroyed other countries and toppled other countries, and now they're doing that. The people at the top of this chain of command in the military-industrial complex kind of know that they're going to destroy America, but the people like these microwave attackers, I think they say, I don't care if America's going to be, because they don't believe it. Like the microwave attackers, they think that all this stuff is going to lead to a better America, and we're going to be more defended from Russia and China, right? They've been lied to. They've been lied to. But they just, you know, that's just the way it is. The Senate Intelligence Committee said, I'm having trouble like finishing my thoughts, but let's move on with the article. Where was I, guys? When an initial wave of incidents beginning in 2016 affected U.S. personnel abroad in Cuba, China, and Russia, there have been new possible cases reported on U.S. soil, including 2 potential incidents CNN first reported that occurred late last year near the White House. The Senate Intelligence Committee said last month that the number of incidents where U.S. officials have suffered mysterious symptoms consistent with Havana syndrome appeared to be increasing. Now, that's BS. What has happened, the incidents aren't increasing. What's happening is people were being hit operationally, people were being hit experimentally. We all know this, right? But now it's coming out. So they're saying, oh, this people are just being hit with this right off. That's a national security to humanity. We need to start thinking about national security threats to all of humanity. That's what we really need to be thinking about. We need to push aside these tyrannical, connected to globalist military-industrial complexes that are doing whatever they want and killing everybody and just saying it's national security. And we need to have our own national, the people of the world under God in the name of Jesus Christ. We need to have national security threats for all of humanity. These weapon programs and used operationally and all this crap and them covering it up and everybody covering it up in the Pentagon and the State Department and the CIA, that is a threat to national security, not only of America and other countries, but a threat to national security of all humanity all over the earth. For people not to know about these weapons and the weapons grid, right? It's just it's a threat to national security. Matcha tea? I need to drink tea and coffee. Slack says, I mean, Bang or Redline just have B12 and mate extracts, just insane amounts. This has, I can't believe, this is in the vending machine. And so I've kind of gotten addicted to it. It has something very addictive in it, and I have an addictive personality. 54 grams of sugar. 54 grams of sugar. It has 0 protein. I mean, I'm not getting any protein. Let's see what else it has. Carbonated water, sugar, glucose, citric acid, natural flavors, taurine, sodium citrate, Panax ginseng, niacinamide, cyanide. Just joking, it doesn't have cyanide in it. Cyanocobalamin, riboflavin, maltodextrin, pyridoxine hydrochloride, D-glucuronolactone. Okay, I'm going to stop reading this. Okay, so let's get back to the article. These are important articles. I put them in the description, so yeah, maybe I'll do a little short video just reading them out or something like that. Federal investigators have struggled for years to understand who or what was causing the strange array of symptoms and sensory experiences that some diplomats and intelligence officers were reporting while stationed overseas. Every country knows what's happening to them. They're covering it up because they have their own weapons programs that they're experimenting on their citizens with and running operations themselves. So they don't want it to come out worldwide, right, what these weapons are and what they can do, right? They're still kind of like they're going, okay, it's remote microwaves and it causes headaches and it can give brain injury, but then they kind of they're like, oh, it's kind of mysterious, right? It's a little bit mysterious and it gives people illnesses, and a lot of scientists are still saying that maybe it's not microwaves, right? When they need to be going, okay, it's causing brain injury, it's hitting people, it's giving them headaches. What else is it doing? Remote neural monitoring, it can send signals to and from the brain to read the inner voice, to read visuals, to get information, right? It's a national security threat that they are not letting these agents know that their visual cortex could be being read, their inner voice could be being read, and that it could be a national security threat if these people are up in the intelligence agencies, right? Do they go back to work? You notice how the guy from Russia, right, he was a CIA agent. He wasn't allowed to go back to work. Hell no would they let him go back to work for the CIA because he's hooked into by Russian intelligence. You know? Slack says, I've been craving boba, but it's impossible to find in the sticks I'm in now. What's boba? Just Aaron says, a pinch of borax in 1 liter of water is alkaline. Also, there's a protocol called borax protocol. I drink borax sometimes. I take boron take the little supplements. I haven't been taking them lately. Slack TI says Monster is poison. I don't know if it's poison. It doesn't make me feel too bad. It's definitely not good. It definitely has too much sugar in it. Definitely too much sugar. Definitely 150 toothpicks. Definitely. No, it's like all the chemicals in it. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl says, haven't had matcha, just brought some ginseng tea. I think I need to take like ginkgo biloba and some of those natural things that can help the brain. Tyler says, Monster is crack protein. The crack inside of it's my protein. I don't think I ate. I think I ate one meal yesterday. And then I haven't eaten. I forget to eat. Like my mom does it too. We forget to eat. Uh-oh. Hey, don't be rude. Don't be rude, guys. Come on, man. We're all targeted. So let's try and just get along and chill. And we're so close to this stuff. Let's focus on the information, guys. Federal investigators have struggled for years to understand who or what was causing the strange array of symptoms and sensory experiences that some diplomats and intelligence officers were reporting while stationed overseas, including vertigo, headaches, nausea, and sometimes a piercing directional noise. Right now, I don't have a piercing directional noise. I mean, I have the V2K sounds like it's coming from that way, but the high-pitched sound, which isn't too bad, because I listened to Dave Case's CD last night, it's in, like, feels like it's in my ears and, like, kind of in my head, you know. Some victims of these episodes have suffered lingering and serious health problems, including traumatic brain injury, and have been forced to retire from service. And I think that they are not, it's not just because of the injuries that they're retiring them, but the people who are getting the traumatic brain injuries, they may think that that's the decision that their bosses are making, like, oh, you've got injury, we're going to go ahead and retire you and give you benefits, right? That guy in the CIA that got hit in Moscow, he doesn't have to work anymore, and he's receiving money from the CIA because of what happened to him. We all deserve that. We've lost our lives, right? Some of us work, but like I can't work, and I'm on Social Security. Like we've lost many years where we could have been making a lot of money and building a life, right? We're owed that compensation. I wouldn't even call it compensation, right? Settlement for our injuries. Several victims and former officials have publicly accused the CIA and State Department under Trump of failing to take their injuries seriously. One official with direct knowledge of incidents said that victims who reported were treated as if they were crazy, right? And we know that feeling too. Okay, until recently, victims were denied medical care they were denied medical care? Okay, until recently, victims were denied medical care at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center and the National Institutes of Health, forcing them to muddle through a series of physicians in the private sector to try to find a diagnosis and relief for their ongoing symptoms. Some of the victims did not receive the financial and medical support they should have expected from their government when they first reported their injuries. This is an outrageous failure on the part of our government to care for those who serve. To care for any innocent human being who is hit by this. It must be any innocent human. If we have gone to government workers, we'll go ahead and acknowledge that because there's less of them than all the normal people who are around the world. Like look, you guys, me, we have more to give than a lot of these government workers. A lot of these government workers are just compliant robots who will do whatever the state wants them to do. A lot of us have a lot of creativity. We can give the world some great things. They help us out medically, right? And I'm not trying to, I'm sure some of the government workers are good people, but I'm just saying, it paints this picture like, okay, if you bow down to the state and you're a little robot for us and you get hurt, we'll go ahead and help you and tell people and give you money. But if you're outside of the system, like you're dog meat. Like you're outside of the governmental system, you're just dog meat. That cannot stand. There will be war. There will be war because of that kind of thinking. If that kind of thinking prevails, there will be war from all the people who are not like part of the little system, you know. I like Susan Collins. Collins, a Senate Intelligence Panel member, said on the Senate floor introducing the legislation. Okay, she said that. She said some of the victims did not receive the financial medical support they should have expected from their government when they first reported their injuries. This is an outrageous failure on the part of our government to take care of for those who serve. So we need to be sending her emails. Get a template. Like I'm gonna write mine, and I'll read some of it to you guys. I'm gonna write it to Marco Rubio, right? And I'm gonna make about four. It's gonna be 4 good paragraphs, right? 4 good paragraphs. But I'm gonna write a bunch and then take out the really important stuff and put it. When you write to these senators, you don't want to make it like 5 pages, right? You want to just get 4 really important. It really should be 3 big paragraphs, but I think that for this we need to go to like 4, right? I mean, write whatever you want, but that's kind of how I'm thinking, because I don't think they'll read past, you know, the second paragraph or whatever. If they read it at all. Maybe their aides do their aides read the letters for them sometimes though. The new Senate legislation is sponsored by Collins, Senate Intelligence Chairman Mark Warner. That's the name I'll always forget. And what I think happened is my attackers were kind of playing a joke, because Mark Warner is the Senate Intelligence Chairman. He's Democratic, and Marco Rubio is Republican. So they were making me forget Mark Warner because he's like a Democrat, and I think it was kind of funny for them because their sense of humor is like dumb. So Senate Intelligence Chairman Mark Warner of Virginia, the panel's top Republican Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. He's a moral man. He was changed after that first Senate Intelligence Committee. He knows people are getting hit, you know. He knows, and you know, this is the thing. If Senator Marco Rubio knows that people are getting hit, well, I guess it's if he's talking in secret meetings in Senate Intelligence Committees. I was just thinking, like, I wonder if he's told DeSantis, you know, about this, if they've had meetings on it or anything, because that would be incredible. Because it like if in 2024, if DeSantis runs for president, knowing about this issue, and it's been like kind of becoming more and more aware, we might be able. This is a pipe dream. We might be able to get a president in there that's heard about this and wants to like abolish it, right? I don't know, that's a pipe dream. Okay, and New Hampshire Democratic Senator Jean Shaheen, she was like there really early on. I mean, all these people are getting so many emails from us. The House's bill has a half-dozen Democratic co-sponsors, including House Foreign Affairs Chairman Gregory Meeks of New York, as well as Representative Devin Nunes of California, the Intelligence Committee's top Republican. Devin Nunes. I'm going to send him a letter. I might see the Republican ones. I might write different letters to. I might like write a different kind of letter and then get. I don't know. I'll probably send them all the same letters. I think they're all good people. It's not like I hate Democrats or anything. I hate really far leftists. I think really far leftists are trying to. Their leadership has made up problems, right, that are dumb and that actually cause more problems for our society, instead of dealing with these hardcore things that are going on in our country, right? Yeah, Slack TI says, also ignoring things as much as possible renders them useless and they seem foolish, especially if you continue to be as good a human as possible. Yeah. You rise above it, ignore them as much as possible. We've got stuff we can work on, guys. I know we need to talk about what's going on with the targeting sometimes. All we got to do is report the news, guys. That's all we have to do now. Like, so every targeted individual, if you're watching this and you have a channel, all you got to do is report the news. This is the most important thing right now. Like, everybody's working on projects, collect your evidence, we need to get defenses, we need to do that stuff. This is the most important stuff that we can be putting out right now, because it connects us to something that people can't go, oh, you're crazy, right? This is such an important thing. All we got to do is report the news. Are you guys misbehaving in chat? Hey, Donna. Donna says, hi, Kyle. You are such a friend. Keep up the good work. LOL. Donna, I hope you guys are doing good. It's good to see you in chat. I know that things are bad, but this good news coming out could change things for us, you know. Just Aaron says, I think people should be careful of what they write, because then we all get discredited if something sounds like too much. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to help that. Like, I think that there will be like fake people writing in letters and emails and things like that, maybe on a mass level, right? You just made me think about that, just Aaron, that they might have perpetrators and like some of these people, the cyber-placed agents, like that work at DHS fusion centers or under our attackers or InfraGard, they might actually like make a bunch of letters to try and discredit us. I didn't think about that. I don't know if they do that though, because that would signal more reports of the incident, you know, even if they were crazy letters. But just Aaron's right. When we're writing these senators, try and just stick with, like, you know, I'm going to talk about the neurotechnology. I'm going to say this signals to and from the brain, right? But you know, we should stay. Don't get into like I wouldn't say, oh, and they you know, they will put visuals in my head and then say the specific thing. I just kind of talk about it generally, right? Kind of talk about how you think it sounds logical, and that somebody with common sense would know that you're telling the truth, right? We can do that. Slack TI says, Worm, I don't think that they're all angry. They just feel special to be part of something others aren't. Are you talking about the attackers? They're psychotic. Is that what you're talking about? Where we go? Wormbrain says, gang stalkers are permanently angry, stuck in a state of rage. It's like they've been body snatched and are forced to stalk and harass to try and kill their target. No, they're just part of a cult. They joined a cult. Like, they're compliant people who don't look into things, and if you're doing something, you need to make sure you're not killing people or hurting them. You need to look, if you have to sign a document that says you can't tell anybody what you're doing, and you're at a DHS Fusion Center, you need to really check into everything that's going on with that. You need to really look into it, and these people don't. They just go, you know, you can, I think they're monsters. I think they're monsters. I think anybody who participates in this program, because it's so out now, it's so out in the public that people are like grandmas and children and women are being microwaved to death and chased around communities. At this point, the news is out. The cat's out of the bag. And if you got a gang stalker participating in this, or a cyber-placed agent, somebody working for any of these organizations trying to come in and be an informant, but the informants are really agent provocateurs that can cause brain damage with their with when they tie themselves to like a survivor of this. So if somebody's still doing this, they're a monster and they're in a cult. The problem that we have is that it's going to come out how bad it is, but the people in it, like my attackers, don't care. The people microwaving me, they're attacking me more because they're afraid. I think they're kind of don't know what's happening. They don't know what's going to happen with this. I forgot what I was going to say about it, but they're monsters. They're monsters. Like I was asking the guy in my car, I was like, you know, this is kind of like coming out in the mainstream, and it seems to be slowing down a bit, you know. I mean, it seems to be not slowing down a bit, but it seems to be coming out of it. I said, why don't you guys slow down a bit and just chill? Because y'all know I'm a good guy. I'm trying to help people, and it's like they're doing the opposite. Like they're trying to hurt me more, to, you know, so I don't. So they say this to me. They say, Maybe the program will stop, but you'll never see it, right? So they want to like stop me before all this comes out. But if they were good soldiers, they saw him a good guy, they'd be like, well, let's just back off. Let's let him help people and stuff like that. That's how I know these people are evil. They're evil, they're cult members, and they do whatever they say, no matter if the order is good or bad, right? So somebody who takes a bad order is evil, right? And the only orders in the system right now are evil, pretty much. And I might say they're good military, good police. Hey, Wise Ninja. Guys, could y'all not do that? Could we just make the chat a peaceful place? And everybody's welcome here, you know? I know everybody's like targeted really bad. Yeah, Slack says from drunken to wise. Love it. What's up, man? Yeah, Wormbrain Zombie says it's a crime to jaywalk and litter, but it's not a crime to harass and stalk a person till they go mad or kill themselves, or till they frame you when you're forced to use self. Yeah, it's an anarcho-tyranny, right? For the people in the system, for the microwave attackers, the military-industrial complex, they can murder 24 hours a day, watch us do all of our private stuff, do horrible satanic raping of the mind, like damaging the brain and changing it. And then if we don't have our registration sticker right on our car for like a week, we're paying fines of up to like $500 and stuff like that. It's an anarcho-tyranny where the evil people in up to the top of the system have anarchy. They can do whatever they want. It's purge life for them every day. But tyranny, we live under tyranny. If you're not like a governmental, like high up in the government, you have no rights to live. Like they're saying we need to kill these people. We're going to sacrifice their lives for this technology. We're going to take these divine organic lives. The brain is such a magnificent organ. And it's divine. It was created. Our creator created it. They're going to damage this and kill the human being to feed some of that information to a machine that they built. They're going to destroy this divine creation that's like infinite times more complicated, complex, beautiful, to put it in some machine that they built, like AI. Compared to what God made, these machines and these technologies are nothing, and we should not sacrifice human lives for them. Human lives are divine. The Wise Ninja says, sup Slack, I'm reformed. Sure you are, Wise Ninja. Sure you are. I'm taking less kratom. I still take it. I had to take some before this video. And I took Lunesta. I took 2 Lunestas 2 nights in a row. And I have this weird taste in my mouth. But it helped me go to sleep. And I think I had natural dreams. I remember parts of some natural dreams. I never remember the directed dreaming. They block those from me. They run those and then they block them with the memory stuff. It's like everything that they're doing with the psychic driving and things, they use the memory dissolution to block it in my mind. So that because they don't want me to work through things. That's the best thing we can do when you're traumatized psychologically, physically. You have to confront the trauma and you have to go through it, and you have to logically go through it, spiritually go through it. You have to filter it, and you got to bring it to God, right? And you say, take this, God, take this from me, free me from this, right? But if it's in your subconscious mind and you don't even know what they put in there, right? Then you can't process it. And we must all be processing trauma. I'm not doing it good, so I'm not saying like I'm great at it. But processing the trauma, facing it, and processing it is crucial. And we have to do it all the time because we're constantly being tortured. Maybe not for long, dude. We're going after this, man. This is exciting. I'm tired and I have a headache, so I'm like, but this is exciting, Lawmakers on the Intelligence and Armed Services Committee. No, you guys um, lawmakers on the Intelligence and Armed Services Committees have grown increasingly frustrated with the government's handling of these cases. Committee members and some victims say there has been a marked difference in the handling of the cases and the investigation into their cause since CIA Director William Burns was confirmed earlier this year. Burns committed publicly to get wait, who's Burns? Okay, since CIA Director William Burns was confirmed earlier this year, Burns committed publicly to getting to the bottom of the mystery during his confirmation hearing and is receiving daily remains a point of debate and investigation, and victims and some lawmakers are still seeking accountability for the agency's alleged failures under then CIA Director Gina Haspel to care for victims. That's really weird, guys, because I don't like it that Biden's president, and I don't like the Biden administration, but they went after this thing. They said we need an investigation on these directed energy weapons. Maybe it was planned. It was a big plan to just bring it out during his administration or something. But Trump had a chance. Like, Trump had a chance to go after this and do an investigation, and they didn't. So Trump, like, covered up what the military was doing. He didn't want to bring it out. I don't know if he knew that people were being experimented on, but that's a bad thing. So the Biden administration, this one really big thing, I'm very happy that the Biden administration is doing this because it's the number one, it's really oh man, my attackers make it so hard to think of the right words. It's so bad. But it's like the number one issue, right, in my life. So I'm very happy about it. They're doing everything else wrong, but it's like going after this. Thank you very much. I have to say, good job when somebody does a good job, and going after this, it's a really good thing. The bill demonstrates that the U.S. government may finally take seriously the long-term health care needs of the victims, said Mark Polymeropoulos, a longtime CIA officer who was struck by the hallmark symptoms of Havana syndrome in Moscow in 2017 and was forced to retire. And given the moral injury that we have all faced of initially not being believed by our own agencies, we are grateful that a bipartisan group of senators has been so resolutely supportive. Even now, officials responsible for tracking and investigating these cases are on the lookout for... Okay, this is the part where I'm like, are they going to try and say this about us? Even now, officials responsible for tracking and investigating these cases are on the lookout for psychosomatic episodes, current and former officials say because the array of symptoms that victims report is so inconsistent, and because intelligence and military officials are still struggling to understand what technology at work here. No, they aren't. They know. They're covering it up. That's why the Senate Intelligence Committees were secret. They would have been public if our military and our Pentagon had no clue what these weapons are. They would not have had to bring it into a closed session, right? Because they have to tell these senators that they have these weapons and they cannot let the public know. And I don't know if they straight up told them that they're doing experimentation on innocent people, but I'll guarantee you that all those senators know. They maybe weren't told to their face, but they're digging into this stuff. They're getting testimonies from regular citizens being tortured, and they know. So you got a whole gaggle of senators, and then you got it going to the House of Representatives too. This is spreading. People are looking into it, right? No matter what they say, people all around the world will be looking more and more into this, So, struggling to understand what technology is at work here. Diagnosing the cases remains an inexact science. The weapon systems do different things. There's different protocols being run. I answered that. I answered that question right now, and I'm just a citizen being attacked by these weapons. This is not hard. This is propaganda. They know what they're facing here. They know what they're doing, and they know what's happening to the government workers. The bill would require the CIA and the State Department to create regulations detailing fair and equitable criteria for payment to victims. It would also require the departments to report to Congress how they are using their new funding authorities, detailing fair and equitable criteria for payment to victims. We need to read exactly, we need to get those, right? We need to get that legislation, and we need to see the exact language, because if they screwed up at all and didn't say government workers on one line, then we got them. We got them in court, you know. It would also require the departments to report to Congress how they're, I don't know if that's the way it works, but, you know, I'm just saying we can use that. It would also require the departments to report to Congress how they are using their new funding authorities, including telling Congress the number of employees and dependents who receive payments, according to a copy of the bill reviewed by CNN. So they're getting funding, you know, they're getting funding, they're getting you know, medical care. We need funding in medical care because we're being hit by this, and we're human beings, they're human beings, so we got to push on that. And I really hope they don't just, I don't know. My dad was saying, like, I was like, I'm really hopeful about this. I'm really happy that things are going to change. Things are going to change, probability 100%, for the better for us. 100%. Things will change for the better for us, and it will keep getting better with this situation. I don't know about the New World Order, the pandemic, the jab, and all the other stuff they're doing for 2030. But things in this situation, 100% probability, not a guess, not a theory, will get better for us very soon. And will keep getting better for us very soon till the abolishment of these torture programs, which I don't know how long that's going to take, but on that road, things will get better and better for us, guys. But you know, a lot of us, we just want the torture to stop, but we may be able to get medical care. There's going to be things that like the military is like publicly putting out to protect soldiers from these things, and if we can get our hands on those, it'll be you know, we won't have to make our own helmets and stuff like that, or make our own devices, which we did. I buy a lot of stuff, but intriguingly, the statement from Collins and Warner announcing the legislation refers to the episodes as probably microwave attacks, offering a degree of certainty about the technology underpinning these episodes that the intelligence community has been reluctant to assign. Although some officials in the Defense Department are convinced that microwave energy is responsible, a number of scientists... Okay, so although probably all the officials in the Defense Department are convinced that the microwave energy is responsible, a number of scientists and academics have publicly criticized that explanation unsupported by evidence. It's so supported by evidence that it's remote microwaves. You have the testimonies of millions of people around the world who have been hit by this stuff. They've recorded it, right? Recorded the frequencies. Some people recorded the voice of skull. You have so much evidence that this is what this is. With the way they looked at their white matter tracks of the Cuban embassy workers were damaged. Microwave energy does that when it connects with the brain. You know, the way that it heats them up, the way that it causes high-pitched sounds in their ears. Like if they just had high-pitched sound in their ears, maybe it's something, maybe it's cicadas or something like that. When you've got a headache with a high-pitched sound in your ears and your body's being heated up, you've got just 3 variables that prove that it is something that's hitting, like a beam hitting a person, you know, in their head. So let's go. Let's go to the next article. Stacy sent me another article with all the names of the senators, and we need to be sending emails. And I'll read y'all my little first draft. It sucks. Like I used to be able to sit down and like write and focus, and it was like fun. Like you'd sit down and do a project, and you're like, oh, this is comfortable, and I'm like writing and thinking. But now it's just like I'm like, I write a little bit, and I can't focus, and I'm hurting, and my attackers give me that just fight or flight thing going on. So it kind of sucks, you know, a little bit. Yeah, I'll read some of that to you guys, DePlume. Hey, Wayne, what's up, man? Brittany says, hey, Kyle, V2K gives us a direct line to the monitoring agents. Yeah, it really does. It really does, Brittany. I've learned more from having V2K. I think if I didn't have V2K, I wouldn't have figured out as much from experiencing it and what they were saying and how they were saying it, you know, and the kind of the psyops that they do. And they are really, I mean, these people, they use automated systems, but the human operators, it's a job. Like, they're always, even when you're just relaxing, they're doing these little things and talking about it. And so that's how I know that it's like ex-military contractors. Mine are, you know. Lee says, so Dr. Let's see. Yeah, I can't read that, Lee. Really? The wise ninja says WD-40 is in the vaccine? None of us consent to it. We do not consent. Just Aaron says, I think it's a good thing it came out in the news. The COVID shot is giving people blood clots. Yeah. Which one gives the blood clots? Is it Johnson & Johnson, or is it, I don't think it's the Moderna one. What was the other one? The Pfizer one? Really? Why isn't it they must that's funny. They must be trying to get men to get the vax with some WD-40. I need some WD-40 for my brain, to oil up my brain and my joints. Yeah, just Aaron says, don't know what's in it, I just know it's killing people. Yeah. And who knows what it'll do in the future, right? Who knows, like, what the transhumanist angle, right? Especially the Moderna one where they're changing genetics, right? Because I think the thing is there, and with this, like the neuroweapons experimentation, you know, a lot of TIs say they're collecting my DNA, they're taking my trash and stuff like that. Well, they're like Dr. James Giordano says they're mapping genetics, how your brain functions with your genetics, right? So they're going to start messing with genetics a lot because genetics, your DNA actually determines how your brain works. It determines how your body works. It's like everything. So it's like they don't even want to stop at the brain and controlling the brain. They want to be able to control genetics to make whatever they want or change whoever they want. With a very, very transhumanistic angle. It's like we look at the things that are going on in the world right now and we're like, wow, it's really bad, the pandemic, all this experimentation, like people being tortured, it's crazy clown show world, right? But for what they have planned to do to people, this is nothing. Like, this is nothing. I hate saying stuff like that, but it's true. I mean, this is like just Ned in the first reader. Stacy says, I got a message from my health clinic saying over 12 can get it. Oh, like kids over 12? I don't think they should be giving this to kids. Okay, Stacy said Johnson & Johnson is the one that gives blood clots. Okay. The Madeira one? The Moderna? Why is that? You mean the Moderna one? Terrorized Germany says these monsters are demonized. I like that. I just like how you said they're demonized, like weaponized but demonized. Like, and that my attackers are like that. And I'm not gang, like the gang stalking is very. I don't know, around my condo. It seems like it's really, really almost. I don't want to jinx it. It's like sometimes it'll happen, but it seems like it's kind of going away a little bit. Right when I say that, they're going to send a bunch of people my way. Jeff O says, my whole family has taken the vaccine. Call me paranoid, but they have become very different. Notice, really? My dad and my mom took it. I'm not noticing anything different about my dad, really, because I mean he has a brain injury. You know, he had an aneurysm. He seems the same. My mom seems to be a lot more like shaky. You know, I've noticed a change in my mom in the way that she's like talking and thinking and stuff like that. Um, but I'm not sure, you know, because she's targeted. Like like I was working on my mom's phone today to get this photo thing on there so she can get her phone, and you know the phone was just doing stuff on its own. So somebody was in her phone. I don't know if it was my attackers or her assigned attackers, right? But me and Brian talked about that. You know, me and Brian both agree on that, and we've seen it kind of happen. And he stays away from his family. He won't talk to his family because he doesn't even want that chance. But I didn't even understand when I started talking to my family. And he says, like, in this, I've said this too. If your family won't perpetrate on you, then they're going to be targeted. You know, because they want to know what they're doing, because you know they're related to you. And what you're as a target, you're trying to fight this and speak about it. What's your family do? Is your family helping you? Are they just calling you crazy? They have to keep an eye on them, or they have to keep an eye on their brain, and then they just go ahead and they just start. They put them into a protocol, right? However they start hooking into somebody for whatever reason, then they're just they just go into the experimental torture protocol, whichever one they put them in. Lee Arthur says, after this crap, the fear porn about the jab makes me laugh, but it's sad there are so many idiots buying it wearing marks in their car by themselves. LOL. Yeah. I just hope you're not going to have a little a vaccine passport, to fly. Really? So he says crazy people are getting tattoos on their arm where they're vaxxed. Wow. They're so proud of it. They're like so proud that they got a vaccine. Oh man. Jinx. Pinch poke. Yo me coke. Jeffo says it has seemed to actually reverse my father's belief in my targeting. His actual personality is very zombie-like. No way. So he's like kind of going back on it. My dad did that a little bit. Like at the beginning, my dad believed me because like it had just happened. But then as it went on longer and longer, he started to have a disbelief that the people doing it to me would keep doing it for like 3 years, right? So he kind of believed me at first. He was like, oh, maybe your attackers are harassing you or whatever, picking on you. He believed that. But then when it was going on for like, I think about 2-3 years, he was like, no way, is anybody going to do that for that long? So my dad kind of went back on it too. But then, after seeing everything that's coming out now, he had been a little bit double-minded about it. Like, no, Kyle's not crazy, but this is just, it's too big. It just couldn't happen. But then all this mainstream stuff is coming out, and he's like, yeah, okay, he's not double-minded about it anymore. Yeah, dude, this is a cult. They're trying to cultify normal people, too, by the pandemic and people wearing masks, and they're probably getting a lot of data about what percentage of the population will just go along with any stupid thing that they do, right? Let's put 10 masks on. I mean, the runners wearing masks. If you have runners that are wearing those masks, for like because they may get other runners, but they're just running around a track. Everyone has to stop in the world and say, where are we right now? You're letting runners suffocate themselves. That's suffocation. And the coach that said they didn't have to wear the mask, didn't he get fired? Like the guy who spoke logic, the guy who spoke truth, the guy who said, whoa, this is asinine. You're putting masks on runners, and some of them wearing even like 2. You're gonna suffocate. Like I walked around in a mask just walking regular, and almost suffocated. Okay, we got another article here. Terrorized Germany says, is here a radio guy? I'm RF specialist, but they ruined me financially. I'm not really a radio guy. Nicholas, I can't remember his last name, but Nick knows frequencies very detailed. He has a very detailed knowledge of specific frequencies. Lee says, my native friend told me, no, they are looking after us first, so we are getting the vaccine first. Ooh, I literally pleaded with him, sit back and watch, don't get it. He got it and is going in days for for another one. They're taking care of them first. The Native Americans, they're taking care of them first. I really think that some people will have like seizures and blood clots and stuff like that, and that's like a small percentage of the people that are getting it. I don't think it's going to immediately just kill everybody. I think that in third world countries, they're using the vaccines to sterilize people. I'm worried that they're also just doing it in the UK, Australia, the United States, that there's something in those vaccines that will sterilize people. I'm not sure who's getting it. Maybe America we're all third world countries now, really. But the first world countries, I don't think they may not sterilize, but definitely in the third world they'll use them to sterilize. And then what I'm really worried about, people have died from them. That is dangerous. But I'm more worried about the people that are getting them. It's for something down the road. This is definitely for something down the road, because the pandemic was like created so that they could do this to people. It was a problem, reaction, solution scenario, and they're using it for all that it's worth. So they wouldn't just create so they create the pandemic, right? Let it out, let the virus out and stuff like that. And other things were going on in the pandemic, and then they go, okay, we got a vaccine. Do you think they're just going to give people a vaccine that just makes them well from the problem that they created, the virus that they created? You think they're just going to go, okay, and then we're just fixing it? Because we just wanted to do the Great Reset, and we just wanted to reset the economy, and kind of change some things in society and stuff like that, destroy a couple of small businesses, a lot of small businesses and stuff like that. All the things that they do. No. That vaccine was very important. That vaccine was very important in the problem, reaction, solution. Because the problem was the pandemic that they created. Then the reaction is, man, we want to go back to work, right? Everybody wants the lockdown to stop. Solution, give them the jab, right? So there's definitely something nefarious with it. I hope it's not too nefarious. I hope that it's just like some people did get a seizure, some people did get blood clots, but I hope that the long-term thing, it's just like nanotechnology in it, right? That everybody already kind of has, but I don't think so. I think it's something new. I think it's something new that can affect DNA in the Moderna one, and then the other ones I think maybe there's some kind of new liquid like the hydrogel, but it's a hydrogel and it's such small transceivers, maybe microscopic, in a gel or a liquid that goes past the blood-brain barrier. And maybe, because this is a theory, guys, like I don't know this, but it just popped in there. Like maybe the nanotechnology goes past the blood-brain barrier, like in the nanotechnology before the hydrogels, right? And maybe we can get that stuff out of our, off the blood-brain barrier. But maybe they're creating things that go past the blood-brain barrier, get in our body somehow, and then they're just like there, right? These hydrogels and liquids, they get somewhere, and it's like you can't get them out of your body. That may not be true. That may not be true. It's just a theory. We do need to find out more, though. We need to find out more about like exactly what DARPA put in it. We need to watch people who got it. It's not good, because the plans for the future are just so overwhelmingly worse than even what they're doing now, right? So DePlume, have you had any kind of bad reactions or anything? Or are you good after taking your jab? Stacy says they microwave my mouth when I wear a mask, so it's harder to breathe. Yeah, what they do to me, it's like they don't microwave my mouth, but they do the remote neural manipulation where like I have trouble breathing, so they're making it harder for me to breathe while I have the mask on. And like I'll put it on just to go into the convenience store, and I'll be like, I'll be up at the counter just hyperventilating. But could you imagine running like doing a mile, running a mile around a track with a mask on like that. It's made people collapse. It's almost killed people. I mean, that's what our society is. It's doing things that are obviously stupid. They're obviously just, you don't do that. You don't wear a mask when you run, but they're just seeing if we'll do it, right? They're just making us do all this stuff. Yeah, just Aaron says they do that to me too, Kyle. My blood pressure was 150. Yeah, they with remote neural manipulation in the vagus nerve too. They can do, I think, just through your peripheral nervous system, but they can also stimulate the vagus nerve. And it touches it can affect your lungs, your heart, your stomach, everything. My attackers lately, I'm embarrassed about my attacks, and I think that's why they attack me this way. But they just stimulate this vagus nerve, and it will just hurt, and I'll just have headaches all the time, and I can tell it's them because when I took the Lunesta, it stopped. I took the Lunesta, and the Lunesta did something to my brain chemistry where it threw them off, like when I took it, and all this pain over here just went away. Um, so they're working on my mouth and my head, and then they're doing really, really sophisticated stuff with my brain. Triggers all the time, like triggers to everything. Because the automated systems are now running the triggers, and like if somebody says a certain word to me, I get a certain feeling. It's like I have to pull myself back from it, right? We have to resist those things with our mind, but it's bad. Oh, it's still. Stay says I'm so used to having to wear it. It's so enforced here. I still wear mine, but in some stores you don't have to wear it. I imagine California will keep it going for a while. Let's go to this other article right here. Thanks for sending this to me, Stacy. So this is actually from Senator Collins' website, right? She's pretty passionate about this. So I mean, if you don't want to send a letter to all the senators, I'd say definitely send one to her because she's very passionate about this. It seems like she's just learning about it and she's very angry, and it's a good time to catch her and say, look, citizens are being hit with it because she might let it slip, right? Is that morally ambiguous? Because like if she did, she'd probably get in a lot of trouble. But I don't really care. Is that? I don't know. I don't know if that's bad. But somebody has to let it slip. Yeah, Wise Ninja says I had to wear a mask for 2 weeks total, and it was too much for me. Yeah, I got one with a big smiley face on it. That was kind of cool. Freak people out. I think I showed this to y'all. I was freaking people out wearing this. How you doing today? It's like I told my mom, I was like, this looks like the Jared Leto Joker where he has the mouth on his hand. He's like, who I think is the worst Joker. I think Jared Leto was the worst Joker, but he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. Maybe he'll be good as Morbius, the living vampire. Okay, so Senator Collins. So we need to get these names down, but I put these, both of these articles. This is kind of like a post on her website. I think it would be a good idea, y'all. When I work with my mom at Dream Day Foundation, we would write press releases ourselves, right? Like, so Dream Day Foundation would write press releases, and then we'd send it to the news station, and they would write a little article about basically just what we had written in the press release, right? So that's what I think happens. That's what I think happens with these mainstream news articles. I think that somebody probably in the Defense Department writes the press release exactly what they want them to say, and then they just send it to that mainstream news like the New York Times or whatever about this kind of stuff, and then they just basically take that press release. They might add in a couple of things, but what I was thinking is, we could write press releases. I guess you have to be a 501c3, but maybe some of the bigger, maybe like Ella's organization or Derek's organization or Targeted Justice, they could write press releases to a bunch of big news stations like in Washington, right? I don't know. That's the beginning of an idea. Cheryl says, I hope those who get the jab stay away from me. I don't want to get those symptoms that they're giving non-vaccinated individuals. Do y'all think that could happen? Do y'all think that shedding could happen? Yeah, my attackers made me feel like I had COVID right when it started. They gave me fever type feelings. Tyler says they're lifting the state of emergency in my state in a few days. Oh, that's great. But right now what they're doing is they're kind of like putting the pressure on, lifting it off a little bit, putting more pressure on. It's definitely this frog in boiling water, and then when people start to react very strongly, they'll kind of pull back a little bit, but then they'll create something new to put more pressure on it. And the whole thing, right? The whole thing right now is is asymmetrical warfare that looks natural. So it's asymmetrical warfare globally. The globalists at the top of the pyramid are waging war on humanity. Like, that is factually what's happening. They're using the military-industrial complex of the world, and they do things like weather warfare, making people look mentally ill while they're being tortured. The pandemic. They try and make things look natural to asymmetrical to go to war asymmetrically with the population of the world, right? But also while they're doing that, to collect data on how we work and how we think and everything like that, and how we react to situations, how we react to big situations. Yeah, I hate the COVID stuff. It's really bad. Like, what's coming with the New World Order is really bad. But I have to just tell you guys, this is my mission. Like, I'm a targeted individual. The target, like the targeting and people being targeted, that's what I'm like focused on, because there's so much bad stuff going on in the world. You just can't cover it all. They're trying to cause this cognitive dissonance with everything that's going on. As targeted individuals, we completely understand. At the beginning of my targeting, it's like, oh, I got the high-pitched sound in my ears, and I've got a headache, and then I'm hearing people up above me, and I was freaking out, right, because I had just been hit with it. But if only those two things were going on now, I'd be like, oh, that's easy. Because with your targeting, they just start dumping more and more things. So it's like more and more angles of attacks, to where even really smart people are like, well, what? And they're messing with your brain while they're coming at you with more angles, right? So that's what they're doing to humanity. That is what the top of the pyramid is doing to humanity. It's putting more and more crazy stuff on them, so people kind of go crazy and kill each other, and they poison people, right, and make them weak and stuff like that. Asymmetrical warfare, full spectrum dominance. Hey, PA. I got PA and Wayne up in here. What you guys doing? So Wayne says people need to know the real. Randall says the CIA has always had an office at every news broadcasting station to control the narrative. Yeah, Project Mockingbird. Any mainstream media that's going to get out to the public, the intelligence agencies, the military-industrial complex, it has people in there is controlling that news. But you saw with directed energy weapons and targeting, you saw how these local stories kind of got out. So the control wasn't complete, right? But they're still trying to solidify control from really big mainstream media all the way down to local affiliates, right? But you saw how some local affiliates would kind of go off on their own and look at this, right? But see, what the intelligent what the military industrial complex is trying to do is they're trying to take that away, where the local affiliates would just do the same things the mainstream. I think they pretty much solidified it by now. Hey, Jerusha. Hey there, Stacy Ti Hours. How's it going, all? It's going pretty good for me, Jerusha. I don't know, man. I'm getting targeted really bad. I'm loving this news, though. This news is kind of carrying me. Like, this is very hopeful, and I wish that I know that some of you guys you're targeted, and it's depressing, and it's like it's hard to see, but like the probability on this, I'm not just guessing. The probability on our lives getting much better soon. Not the program ending maybe right away, but our lives changing for the better soon. Probability 100%. 100%. You gotta hold on. Like, I'm telling you, it's not a theory. Like, looking at all these things, there's no way, there's no probability of just things staying the same for us and not being able to get medical care and still being called crazy. There's no probability of that. Oh God, Brian, come on. That's Stacy. She is, that's really Stacy, guy. Oh gosh, this chat is wilding tonight, guys. Can we just, like, can this happen? Like, when we come in here, like, I know, like, we want to have fun sometimes, and we want it to be kind of a sociable thing, but when I come in here because I'm hurting so bad, and, like a job, like I'm going to work, and then all you guys in chat, it's like we're going to, like, this is so important for us, right? Because we're TIs, are being tortured. These things that we're talking about are so important. I think we can have fun, right? We want to have fun. We want to be, so we do that sometimes. We laugh and just talk about whatever, but have a kind of mentality like you're doing, like you're going to work. And if some people don't like each other or whatever, maybe just say hi and don't talk to each other or something like that. And then let's go to work. And then you talk about what's important to you, right? You know what I'm saying? Cheryl. Cheryl says, Brian, who's those purple panties? We know you. We know where those purple panties came from, Brian. I'm just joking, man. Stacy's a T3000. She's a T3000. Guys, y'all gotta stop that. You really gotta stop. Okay, Senator Collins, Warner, Rubio, Shaheen introduced bill to support victims of Havana syndrome. The legislation would support U.S. diplomatic staff and others who have suffered head injuries from probable directed energy attacks in Cuba, China, and elsewhere. We got to keep our eyes on the important stuff that could save our lives. Like, I know maybe there's like, shut up, God. Okay, Washington, D.C. In a bipartisan effort to support American public servants who have incurred brain injuries from probable microwave attacks, a bipartisan group of 15 senators, so we got 15 senators that we definitely need to send emails to. People are already doing it, right? TIs are, I need to get my ass on it. And then it's going to Congress. It's going to the House of Representatives. So we're going to need to find the people who are doing the next. They're going to do a follow-up legislation in the House for medical care and monetary things. We got to find a way to roll this into, we get monetary and medical help, right? We have to, I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to do it, Y'all love each other. Everybody loves each other. If we're targeted, we just love each other. I'm a little bit scatterbrained tonight, guys. Let me drink this poison. Let me drink this poison here. Oh, tastes so good though. The poison tastes good. Okay, where were we? 15 senators introduced the Helping American Victims Afflicted by Neurological Attacks in the Havana Act. They called it the Havana Act. Did they call it the Havana Act? If they called that thing the Havana Act, I'm going there. I'm going to drive. We need to get up there. Mike was saying, I texted Mike, and I had the same idea too. We need to get to Washington. Like, we need to get to Washington, and we need to go to the Senate and ask to be seen by these senators. We need to push in a way that's not like writing emails and everything is good, but they can be ignored. We have to find ways to push where we're in their face, not violence, right? But assertive activism, Here we are. We're people. We're being hit by these microwave weapons. You wrote legislation to take care of those government workers being hit by it. We're being hit by it. What's the holdup? What's the difference? Because you can't handle it? Because the system can't handle so many people being tortured that you're just going to ignore it? No, you can't do that. They can't do that. They can't say this person gets taken care of. They've been hit by these microwave weapons. This person is mentally ill because we just don't. The system is not capable of fixing this, right? No, that's not enough. That's not enough, and we must stand our ground on this. We lawyer up, and they've already declared this a world crime. They've declared these microwave attackers to be world criminals and terrorists. Anybody involved in this, our Senate, the U.S. Senate, has declared this to be a dangerous crime. They are looking for the people who are doing this because they want it stopped, right? It has been declared a crime. Huge step. Huge step. Why are y'all doing this tonight? Why is everybody fighting in the chat tonight? This is such important information. Look, whatever, guys, y'all need to, Wayne, why would you come into my chat after so many months, after you did what you did to me, and you come in here and you're talking about Jeff when I'm talking about really important information that can get us out of this? Why would you do that, man? You were really horrible to me. And then you're coming in here and you're saying Jeff this and Jeff that, man. I don't appreciate that, dude. I don't appreciate that, Wayne. Why tonight? I don't have any problems with you, Wayne. You've done a really good job. You're a smart guy and stuff like that. But I don't see why you came in trying to cause trouble tonight. We're on important stuff. So if people are causing trouble now, and I'm not talking about all people, but I'm getting a little bit suspicious because we're at a point where it's very important and people are trying to focus on coming in and saying, oh, this person's a perp or whatever. What are you doing? We got stuff, we got big stuff here, Sierra Rush says they know who's doing it, Monsanto and the FBI. There's so many agencies involved in it. I'm gonna wipe this chat. Do you see him, Jeff? Do you not see him? Do I just see Wayne? You guys, all y'all, just don't talk to each other. Just say hi when you come in and don't talk to each other. Hey, I think this is a lot of mind control. We're getting close, and so they're stirring everybody. They're stirring me up too, guys. Let's all take a breather. If you're arguing with somebody in chat or something like that, just stop talking to them for this live stream, and maybe off of the live stream it can be fixed. Dude, this is important stuff. We're all dying, guys. So I don't know what y'all are doing. I don't understand the fighting and the accusing and stuff. We can go up the middle of the line. We got huge stuff where we can stop being murdered. We got to focus on that. All the other stuff, if you don't like somebody, just don't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of, I don't know, man. I'm going up the center, and that's what I'm doing. And God help anybody that gets in my way. because that's where I'm going, up the center. And I want everybody to lock arms and come with me, right? And come with every targeted individual that's fighting to get our freedom. There's a chance. There is more than a chance. There is, this gets better and better for us. We're targeted, but we can find better things. We can buy time. Probability 100% that this gets better, program ended. It's not going to get worse, program ended. Our attackers are going to be a little bit more, they're going to, probably hurt us more, but that's why we need to get these new defensive things that probably the military is going to come out with, right? And some other things that I haven't gotten yet. Hey, Declan. Declan says, hi, Colin, everyone. Sierra Rush says, that's crazy. The government officials going through it now. Yeah. Well, we've been going through it way longer than government officials. And they better not sideline us. And like, if they say that we're just psychosomatic, I was talking to my dad about this in 2000. I think in 2012 I understood it was non-ionizing radiation. 2011 it started, and I thought it was sonic, really. So I was kind of like, it was kind of like the Cuban embassy attack where they first thought it was sonic weapons, but then they knew it was microwave, because like I was being hit with something that was doing a high-pitched sound in my ears, headache, and I looked up the mosquito, the mosquito from the UK that can get kids out of parking lots and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, it's one of those. It's like a sonic device, that's they're just aiming at my head. So I actually had the same kind of idea as the Cuban embassy, the people who were investigating the Cuban embassy attacks. Not investigating it great. Excuse me. Okay, so the legislation was co-authored by Senators Susan Collins, Mark Warner. I bet you a lot of people, I hate chat because like I'll talk to people, but they may erase their chat later, and then it's like it looks like I'm not talking to anybody. Okay, Jeff, I guess he's hiding himself from you. I don't know. Wayne, you haven't come into my chats in so long. I guess, and I haven't gone to yours either, and we kind of end it on not the greatest terms, but I respect what you're doing and stuff like that. I don't know why you're in here trying to stir up things about Jeff, at this time, when we're going through important information. I don't get it. I don't know if people can see you in chat. I can see you in chat. And I'm respecting that you're doing your thing on your channel. You didn't want my name in your mouth. That's fine. You came on my live streams, and that's how, you built your channel, and we kind of parted ways. I respect what you're doing over there, man, but I don't see why you're coming in here now and trying to cause trouble when I'm going through some of the most important information for us. This stuff is happening. We're going to be able to get out of this. I don't understand the targeted individuals that are distracting from it. You need to focus on this. This can save our lives. These senators, if we write good enough letters to them and everything like that, if we just write any letters to them, it's going to change things. Some of these people are moral, and they're going to try and help us. They're going to try and figure out how to get along how to go along in a process of trying to get these programs ended. The legislation was co-authored by Senator Susan Collins. So Susan Collins, Mark Warner. Mark Warner's the name I can never remember. Susan Collins, Mark Warner, Marco Rubio, Jean Shaheen. I'd say those four are maybe the most important. But we need to send them to all of them. If you just do one letter, easy, you just send it to all of them. And your state senators. So your 2 state senators at least. Maybe other representatives if you want to, but definitely your 2 state senators. I need to do that. I think Senator Kerry is. Senator Kerry, I can't remember my other senator. That's really bad. And co-sponsored by Senators John Cornyn, Michael Bennet, Roy Blunt, Kirsten Gillibrand, Richard Burr, Martin Heinrich, Ben Sasse, Dianne Feinstein, Tom Cotton, Angus King, and James Rich. So Tom Cotton was on the previous Senate Intelligence Committee about the Cuban embassy attack. Havana syndrome is the term given to an illness, blah, blah, blah. So saying that. So what does she say about it? Since then, at least a dozen U.S. diplomats at the U.S. consulate in Guangzhou suffered symptoms consistent with the effects of directed pulsed radio frequency energy. Look how she's talking about it. This is awesome. Susan Collins, we definitely need to email her. She's passionate about this. She's not covering anything up. She's speaking as if she's learning about it, and she's like consistent with the effects of directed pulse radio frequency energy. And there have been, according to the press, more than 130 total cases among American personnel, including on U.S. soil. If it's on U.S. soil, they're getting hit by contractors. Do you guys realize that? Out of those 130 cases, some of those people are being hit by contractors like the contractors that are hitting us on American soil. This is huge. This is huge. This is like an opening into the future, right? This is happening. This is happening. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this miracle of this happening. It's going to get better. We're still tortured. We got to work on that. We got to buy time. But this is happening, including on U.S. soil. Ailments have included dizziness, tinnitus, visual problems, vertigo, cognitive difficulties. God, they have made my brain to where I feel like, are they doing something with remote neural manipulation, or have my neurons just been fried out? You know, I think it is the remote neural manipulation that is consistently, right? It's consistently, doing stuff to the brain. But sometimes it feels like, oh, my brain's just completely burnt out, like the neurons don't work right. It's a horrible thought. It's embarrassing. Like, my attackers, they're doing stuff to me that, like, I used to be like, oh, I'm getting hit with microwaves, right? It feels like the whole side of my body's burning. But, like, the things that they're doing, it's like, I'm always telling people that your face is messed up from these people, But I know I look beautiful, so it's okay. Hey, what's up, Charles of Hurley? Yeah, Stacy says we need to overwhelm them with TI letters. That's right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Jeff says, Slack, I'm telling you to stay in your lane, bro. I think that's a good idea, I think that's a really good idea for us all to just kind of stay in your lane. And if you have problems with somebody right now, just kind of say hey to them, and then do your own thing and say your own thing, and just kind of because this is really important stuff. And if we're targeted individuals are getting tortured, this is important stuff for us to survive, right? We need to learn about it as much as possible, and like everything that's kind of like it's bad, and we're fighting, and there's mind control and drama and stuff like that, remote neural manipulation that makes us think a certain way. We kind of need to push it aside and just go straight up the middle. And I think we could focus on this, right? I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, I'm a targeted individual, and it's like I feel like I need to do something all the time, so I make videos and stuff, but I feel like there's nothing I can do, right? It's like we can go do activism, but that takes a long time to set up, and people are doing that, of course. But like everyday stuff, it's like I feel stuck, right? I feel stuck. And I know some of you guys have a job. I don't have a job. I could not work a job. But with these things that are going on in the mainstream news, I feel like we can kind of grab this, and we can actually have stuff that we can do all the time, and maybe even, you know what I'm saying, we can get our mind off of things by focusing on these things and what we need to do that are concretely going to push us over the line, right? Going to push us over the line where they're like, they have to admit that this is happening to us. This is doable. It's doable if one person stands in front of Marco Rubio and says, I'm a citizen, and my parents taught me to be a good Christian and a good American, and I got attacked by these weapons. I didn't commit any crime. I think it's experimentation. Have any TIs stood in front of him and said that? I bet you they have. The Havana Act. They actually called it the Havana Act. Oh my God. They called it the Havana Act. They really did call it the Havana Act. Many affected personnel continue to suffer from health problems. Years later, the Havana Act would give the CIA director and Secretary of State additional authority to provide financial support to those suffering from brain injuries as a result of these attacks. The Havana Act would give the CIA director and the Secretary of State additional authority to provide financial support to those suffering from brain injuries as a result. We need to look at the language of the legislation. We need to look at it very carefully, and then if they did anything, if there's anything in there where it's generalized, anybody who's hit by this stuff will get money and medical care, then we need to bring it. We need to shove it in their faces. We need to just shove it in their faces. Like, we got to lawyer up on this, because we're so close and they know, but they need a push. They need a push where it's like if we can bring it out more, then the senators will have to talk about it. Maybe they won't be killed for doing so, right? You see what I'm saying? If we push it more, and then it's just like they have to deal with it, and it's like whatever, then it's a little bit different of a scenario. I don't know, I'm kind of just thinking out loud here. Okay, Charles of Hurley said, Senate Intelligence Committee, I wrote them last week and sent pics of Dew weapons injuries. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. Tyler says, Kyle, I'm being serious. I appreciate your hard work. I'm just messing. Oh, no. Thank you, Tyler. Dude, I'm doing this for my family, me, y'all. I almost quit in 2018. And I almost quit every time after that. I was thinking about it. I'm glad that I stuck in because this is for real, guys. This is for real hope. This is concrete. The probabilities. Like, I speak in theories a lot, and there were times when I was like, oh, is this just going to go on forever? With this. And plus, my dad is like talking to me like this is going on. Hell's frozen over, guys. Hell's frozen over. That's a sign. This is going to happen. My dad doesn't believe in anything. I mean, he doesn't believe in anything like conspiratorial that's going on. Yeah, DePlume says, has anyone heard from Arachno Nixon? I have not, and I'm worried too because he needed a place to stay. I thought that you guys, I thought he was talking to you, DePlume. Don't you have Arachno Nixon's number? Didn't y'all get in touch? I don't have his number. He never gave me his number. Yeah, Alan says, true ninja, funny to think of Cuba being the new MIT of AI technology. Yeah, it's like, oh, Cuba came up with this stuff. And they're saying that like Russia has been working on these microwave weapons for years. Like they're just trying to say like Russia just has these microwave weapons. If some country has weapons like this, all the other countries are going to have them too. They're not going to just be like, okay, Russia, go ahead and advance your remote microwave capabilities. And Russia gave Cuba those weapons. Russia gave Cuba, and I know this, man. I know this. It's going to have to be theoretical because I can't prove it. But talking to Dr. Hoffer about it and the symptoms in a specific thing in their ear, Cuban intelligence was using older weapons, like older weapon systems that like caused damage in the ear, like literally physical burns in the ears. Because it was older technology. It was older integrated neuroweapon systems, right? I know that. I know Russia gave them older technology and, because they're allied. The Cuban intelligence would never be able to, Cuban contractors would never be able to build these weapon systems. Ever. Ever. Wise Ninja says, don't you think the richest, most powerful country in the world would have invented this technology? Which country? What country, Wise Ninja? Man, dude, we're over the target, guys. We're over the target because there's a lot of drama in the chat. There's people trying to cause crap. We're way over the target. This is great. I am excited because I've never had a chat that's so fighty, we're over the target. We're over the target. This is exciting, guys. God will use everything bad for the good of us, And so it's like, even when we're fighting and stuff, and we're all being remote and all manipulated, and we're all kind of biting each other's backs, dude, that's a sign. That's a sign that they're freaking out. Our attackers are freaking out. And we got to charge. I see the whites of their eyes. Jesus told me to kill him. Now, I'm joking about that. Jesus told me to kill him. Alex Jones once said that. He was like fighting with Joe Rogan. And he was like, Jesus told me to destroy you. And I was like, wow, that's really inappropriate. That's like the exact opposite of what Jesus would tell you to do. We're over the target, guys. Okay, this is an outrage. Listen to how she talks about this. The injuries that many Havana syndrome victims have endured are significant and life-altering. Listen, we got to send her. Dude, she is good. I worry about her. I worry about, like, if they're going to maybe target her or something like that, because she's talking about this in a passionate way. This is what we need. We need to talk about it in a passionate way. A lot of people nowadays, they're own emotionally. We are survivors. We're victims and survivors of this, and we got to have passion. We got to lawyer up. People will listen to us. This is mainstream now, so we can say some of these things without feeling so embarrassed, right? Because it's happened officially around the world. It is known that people can be hit with remote microwaves. Official. Like, oh, we don't know what these attacks are, but they're heinous, they're crimes, right? So they're basically declaring the microwave attackers criminals, the contractors doing this criminals. It's criminal activity, right? That citizens are being experimented on, and they're like, these are heinous crimes, right? But the military-industrial complex is like, we've got to experiment and kill these citizens for national security, right? You see the national security implications when everybody is not on the same page. This, and we need this. We need the good guys, because the good guys have been just like, look, in the military-industrial complex has been bashing us in the head. We need this, because those good guys will come in and they may create changes in this whole system, right? And when I say good guys, I mean like people in government, people in the agencies that are still moral, and they're not going to just be like, oh, okay, y'all are killing people. Okay, cool. Well, okay, we can sacrifice people. There are people that will never go along with this everywhere on the earth. First of all, this is an outrageous failure on behalf of our government, said Senator Collins. I have spoken to CIA Director Burns about these attacks, and I am heartened by the commitments that he and others have made to the Senate Intelligence Committee to care for the victims and to get to the bottom of these attacks. We need a whole-of-government approach to identify the adversary who is targeting American personnel. And they're talking about American contractors, because some of those people who reported it were hit on American soil by probably American contractors, right? They are the adversary. They are being declared by a senator, a United States senator, as the adversary of the American people. They've been declared the adversary, the evil in this country. The public servants who work in my attackers are going nuts. The public servants who work in our embassies and consulates overseas make many personal sacrifices to represent America's interests abroad. They deserve our strong support when they are harmed in the line of duty, just as we care for soldiers injured in the battlefield. Well, what about the citizens who just want to live their lives? I think that's way more important, because we never even agreed to go into harm's way. We didn't agree to go into harm's way. We agreed to be free and live our lives and get a job and have a family, or do whatever we want to do, or make art, or make movies, or write books, or travel, or spend time with your children, or whatever. We didn't agree to go into harm's way. These people knew. These government workers, or the agents who went over, they signed stuff saying that the government, if you get hurt, the government's not. What's the word? I can't remember. The government's, it's not, oh crap. It's not like the government's responsibility if they get hurt. They've signed that stuff. They knew they were going into danger. We were just attacked out of nowhere. So our situation should be fixed first. These people knew there was danger. Agents knew there were danger. They're going over there and spying And then the people that are sending them over there to spy are not telling them about remote neural monitoring or remote microwave weapons. They're putting them in danger. They know that these weapons exist, but you see the national security risk to every country. This keeping it under wraps as the national security issue. It's going like this, and everybody's using it. All these agents don't know about it. They're coming back here with it. They don't know what's going on. They're being sent into danger with these weapons, not knowing the capability of these weapon systems. That national security threat rises, and it's in every country. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening. Yeah, Jerusha. Drew says, yes, I agree. We are over the target. So thankful for all your work. We're over the target, guys. How'd that happen in my chat tonight? So, should I just erase this chat? Should I just erase the whole chat? Oh, Stacy, is that Arachno Nixon? Is he okay? I hope he's okay, man. I like him. And it's not that funny, Wise Ninja. Okay, so let me read some of my crappy first draft. Let's see if there's anything. Okay, let's see. Senator Rubio said something. Okay, I'm proud to reintroduce this legislation to provide the CIA director and the Secretary of State the authorities needed to properly assist U.S. personnel who have endured these attacks while serving our nation. Oh man, what a piece of poop. They are really going with people who serve this nation, right? U.S. personnel. He's really doing that. Maybe Senator Rubio isn't as moral as I thought. There is no doubt that the victims of the Havana syndrome who have suffered brain injuries must be provided with adequate care and compensation. We need to just take all these things, all these statements. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to take all these statements that they said where they didn't specify U.S. personnel, government workers. I'm going to take all of those and write them down, what these senators said, and we're going to read them, right? And I'm going to send them to them. Because they're saying a lot of statements about everybody who's getting hit by these weapons need medical care. That should be it. Why don't you just write the legislation, anybody hit with these, why do they have to specify any governmental worker? They specify it because they know that citizens are being hit by it, and there's too many of them, and they can't handle it, and they're just going to let it go on, and they're not just going to let it. We're going to, I'm saying that's what they may try and do. We're not going to let them. Okay, so I'll put this in the description. This is a really, really important thing. So from Susan Collins' website. Okay, so y'all want to hear a little bit of oh, I gotta pee. Y'all want to hear a song? Y'all have a like a request for a song or anything? Everybody's fighting tonight. Even I was like yelling at Wayne. Oh man. Okay, let me read my crappy first draft to Marco Rubio. I gotta pee. Okay, put on a funny YouTube video. Okay, you got it. Do you have one that you want me to put up Wise Ninja, or I've got one of Joe Biden that I like, but I think y'all have seen it before. Oh no, no, I'm gonna put on the one. I'm gonna put on the Alex Jones one. I don't know. People do that sometimes. Like I'll be able to see them, and other people will be able to see them, but the other people are blocked from seeing them. And I guess people like practice doing that or something. I don't understand what's going on, guys. We've got really important stuff. We can save our lives. Like that's all you should know. Like I mean, just if you don't like somebody or there's complications or whatever, I don't know. What am I doing? I forgot what I was doing. And please, I'm getting that camera. I'm getting that new camera, and I really appreciate. I got a $40 gift card on Amazon from Naughty, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate people who help me out. I really do use it for like stuff like internet, food, and stuff for the channel. But we're gonna get a new camera. We're gonna see how that looks. I'm gonna probably get a new computer too, but like I'm gonna have to pay for that. And I am really, my brain is like like locked up tonight, and I'm just like, because of all the stuff in the chat. Oh well, we deal with this with targeting. I hate it, guys. I hate that. Just want everybody to get along. Just I got important stuff. We'll work stuff out. I can't think right now. What am I doing? What am I doing here? I'm looking for something funny. Something funny here. Something fun. Oh, we got something funny. This. Probably a lot of you guys have seen this already. I don't think he'll give me a copyright strike for just showing this. I'm going to show Waking with JP's latest video. Actually, not like his latest one. Oh. No, let's do his latest one. It's like 7 minutes though. Yeah, let's just watch his latest one. Look, I'll put the sound on. I gotta just pee. I might grab some applesauce real quick. Okay. Let me share my screen, guys. Maybe I'm a chatterbot. Maybe I'm like that guy on Lawnmower Man, and like I've done so many live streams that I've become the live stream. Like so like I'm not like sitting in my room right now. I'm like just digitized and I'm a chatterbot. Yeah. Hey Tanya. Tanya says we are all lucky we have each other and Kyle's hard work for us to come together to stay alive through this slow kill torture program. Yeah, we're close. We got big. Like this cannot be denied anymore. If you're a citizen talking about it, you can explain. There's experimentation because they're using these weapons operationally. There's tons of stuff going on with these weapons, and they're not just hitting governmental workers. There's no logic in that. That, oh, only government workers are being hit because they're important. You're just a citizen. You're not important. Therefore, you're saying you're being hit by these weapons, and no, you're mentally ill. That's complete, like, human dirtbaggery. Like that's some coward going, I don't want to deal with this, so you're mentally ill. I mean, it's literally like an immoral act to do that. So I don't know if you guys, I don't think JP will give me a copyright. I hope he doesn't. But I like him. I think he's pretty cool. The country is being destroyed and mask updates. Let me play this. Did I put this? Wait, sorry guys, I gotta make sure I put the sound on. Even if I put them, like, even if I mark the sound as on, I'll forget if I did it. They play a game with me with that. Because, like, I've messed up with it so much, I don't even think I did share audio. I got so much going on in my head, and then my attacker's, like, control and, like psychic drive me and stuff. I didn't say I was, Brian. I don't think anybody in here is a chatterbot, though. I mean, I think that, like, we have cyber-placed agents and stuff, but I don't think they're just running programs for like my chat room. I don't think they're running automated, like, chatterbot. I don't think they would use that kind of that much advanced technology. I think they would just maybe send a few people in. Like, I don't know about that. That's conjecture, you know. I'd need some hard evidence on that.
Of gas shortages, thanks to President Biden, the Colonial Pipeline is running again. Of course, thanks to President Biden. While the pipeline was shut down, Hunter Biden's dad effectively addressed the nation when he said this.
Now, here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected.
He also provided further context for that statement when he said,
and there may be some hiccups.
With that, America's fuel worries were put to rest, and understandably so. This is the most popular president in history, is what we keep telling you. When addressing price gouging, the people that run Biden instructed him to come across as strong and tough. This is how he interpreted their instructions while trying to read off a teleprompter.
And I also want to say something to the gas stations. Do not, I repeat, do not try to take advantage of consumers during this time.
Leaning in like a guy awkwardly going for a kiss with a girl he thinks he's on a date with, but isn't, exudes the power and confidence you want in the leader of the free world. In other news, the terrorist organization Hamas has been bombing the hell out of Israel, specifically in civilian-populated areas of Israel. President Biden, who's too busy trying to read off teleprompters, has not brought the U.S. to Israel's aid. Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu has confirmed Hamas carried out airstrikes from a building shared with the Associated Press, a fellow terrorist organization. The Associated Press terrorizes people with fear so they're more controllable. Of course, for their protection. The CDC has made a new announcement. If you're vaccinated, you do not need to wear a mask. That's according to CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky. The good doctor followed this up by telling people the new guideline is not widespread permission for mask removal. With regard to the CDC Director's statement, people around the country suffering from infections of bravery were overheard saying, "We're not asking your permission for anything, Rochelle. Go f*** yourself." Not acting at all defensive, the CDC director said the changes to mask recommendations are not political. And that feels true, because not a single thing about this whole pandemic has seemed even remotely political. And in divorce case news, the New York Post is reporting that Bill Needle-in-Your-Arm Gates asked out several women in his office while he was married to Melinda. Kind of deceptive of Bill, isn't it? And it's worth noting that not one of these ladies said yes, even though he's a billionaire. And many sources are reporting that one of the principal reasons why Melinda is divorcing Bill is because of his relationship with pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. It's reported that Melinda raised concerns, but Bill continued collaborating with the notorious pedophile, even flying on his private jet. Due to the funding we receive that you don't know about, we can assure you that all of his suspicious and deceptive behavior is nothing to worry about. We'd also like to remind you that though he doesn't have a medical degree, he is the world's most trusted medical authority. Because that makes a lot of sense. In other news, while delivering the National Prayer Declaration, the father of a crack addict with underground business dealings in Ukraine and China failed to mention the word God. By comparison, during the National Prayer Declaration last year, Trump mentioned God 8 times. In 2016, Obama mentioned God twice.
You know what? You know what, man? And this is like the left is nuts and the Biden administration is nuts, but they're giving me a hole to jump through with this directed energy, with this targeting. They're giving us they're opening a door to stop this torture. It's so huge. So I'm like, they're doing everything else wrong. They actually care about Palestine. So with Israel and with directed energy, two huge things, they're doing kind of the right thing. Like, I mean, I'm confused. And I like Donald Trump on a bunch of things he did, but he was trying to hold back an investigation of people being hit by these weapons. So it's like you can't just say Trump was like all good and the Biden administration's all really bad. I can't, because this is my most important issue. And Biden is like, the Biden administration is going forward on my most important issue, you know? Very confusing to me. Very, very confusing to me. Still thinking about it.
And in 2008, George W. Bush mentioned God 4 times. Some speculate Biden's cognitive decline is why he didn't mention God when speaking about prayer. That's a scary scenario. An even scarier scenario that some speculate about is that Biden is actively helping usher in communism to the U.S., given that corrupt leaders have to destroy their population's relationship with God before communism can fully take hold. While others believe all that is blown out of proportion, and the simple explanation for Biden not mentioning God is because the powers that run Biden are the opposite of God. In other news that connects with why Biden failed to mention God, Space Force Commander
Well, you can still come to the channel. But you like you're just saying Jeff did that. Okay, I can't. I can't do that. No.
Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Lomier was fired for warning service members about Marxism and critical race theory in the military. Marxism is a set of philosophies put forth by Karl Marx that are used by communists to usher in communism. Critical race theory is a known component of Marxism used to create racial divide while purporting to be about racial unity, as a population that is divided rather than united is easier to control. And for his warning, Lomier was relieved of his command, which is also part of Marxism, silencing anyone who speaks out against it. Marxism also uses a relentless stream of propaganda that comes from trusted figures. The propaganda manipulates you by instilling you with fear so you're more controllable. As the figureheads harm you, they reassure you they're protecting you. And in other news, the death toll has risen to 3.5 million, and you could be next. Stay tuned, we'll tell you what to do, because we're here to protect you. Good night! I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, BlueBlox.
BlueBlox.
My favorite evidence-based blue light blocking glasses. And today, I specifically want to...
He promotes, like, the products that he promotes are so healthy and good for you. Like, he doesn't just promote a bunch of crap, like, just so he can make money for his channel. Like, since his channel's so big, I think he's been able to decide and really be picky on what he promotes, and he promotes such great supplements. And then the blue block glasses, I think anybody with a lot of directed dreaming should get the blue block glasses, get the red glasses. And I'll do a video and show y'all, you know, what I got. I got some of them. I ordered some of them. I haven't gotten them yet. But he promotes some very, very good products. I love Waking with JP. He probably knows about this stuff too. So this, so we had a fun live stream tonight. Can y'all just ignore each other? Would that would work, you know? And then you could still come to live streams or whatever. I don't know how to fix this right now, guys. I just think we should Yeah, just block each other on chat. I think you can block it so you don't see somebody talking. Like, I think that's what Wayne did. Wayne blocked Jeff from seeing him, but everybody else could see him. And then he was saying that. Which I think is a little bit... I shut my mouth. I just need to shut my mouth. Tyler says, Robert Stanson, last time I saw him, was messing with glass earplugs to block the tinnitus, but the glasses are the key. Yeah, dude. I don't think Jeff would do anything like that, guys. Okay, hey, Donna. Lee says, you can kill the direct dreams by using pot. I smoke that Delta 8 THC sometimes, but they're banning it. Like, they're banning Delta 8 THC in Louisiana because they can't make money off of it. So I usually go to this small little store, and it's called Dr. Feelgood, and it's this guy and his wife, and they have, like, I think 4 kids, right? Beautiful family. And, that's what they make most of their money off of is the Delta 8 THC, like vapes and the gummies and stuff like that. And, like, I talked to him today. He's like an entrepreneur. He'll make it. He'll think of something, but he was like, yeah, we're going to have to stop selling that. That's their main thing. And he has this family he has to take care of. I'm sure it was like really hard. He opened Dr. Feelgood. It was like a CBD Kratom Delta 8 THC store during the beginning of the lockdowns and the pandemic. So the guy is like an awesome entrepreneur. It sucks, man. So I'm not going to be able to do Delta 8 THC anymore. It's like it doesn't affect the mind. It just kind of calms your body down and stuff like that. Yeah, the Wise Ninja says whatever works, seriously. And I say, like, I did something the other night. My attackers made me think that it was working, but it still worked. I still got relief for a little while. So it's like even if it's a complicated thing of your attackers tricking you to make you think something works for a little while, you're getting a little bit of relief. Oh, wow, we got real... Oh, no. Why'd that happen? But why are you coming in here now, Wayne? Like, why are you coming in here now, Wayne, and accusing him of all this stuff? Like, it just seems weird timing. Like, you don't come to my live streams. You're doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. You made it clear that that's what you wanted. You made it clear that you didn't want me at your live streams and that you didn't want to come over here. And now we're going into some serious news, some serious things that can help us, and you're coming over here and starting all this crap with Jeff. It's very weird timing, man. I ain't accusing anybody of anything. Maybe you're being remote neural manipulated a bit, but I think we had an unspoken thing where you were doing your thing and I was doing my thing, and we were staying in our lanes. That's what I kind of thought. And I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to insult you or like call you out on here or anything like that. It's weird what's happening. Oh, I associate with perps. Look, I'll put that up on the screen if you're hiding it from people so they can see what you just said to me, that I'm associating with perps. You know what, Wayne? I don't give an S about what anybody is in here. There are real TIs in my chat, and we are moving forward with real information. That stuff, like you're associating with her, all this other stuff, we need to move forward. I don't care. None of that's going to get us out of this torture. None of it's going to get us out of this torture. And I'm being murdered. Like, weird timing, man. Weird timing, and like we have not been going to each other's live streams. And what you said to me, in that whole thing, it was like we were going to go do our own things. This is weird timing that you do this. Okay, so now that I'm like really nervous and anxious and like, it's crazy, man. Tonight has been crazy. Okay, Tanya says, Kyle, keep talking about directed energy weapons. I'm going to read you guys the first draft. It sucks. It sucks. Like, I was having a hard time thinking, but I want to tell y'all at least the structure of it. because I'm going to try and take what I write and put it into like 4 paragraphs. Wayne, you're calling me. Let me put that up on the screen. Your accusation. So Wayne's saying sorry. Are you saying that to me, or are you saying that to Jeff? Are you saying that to me? Just clarify. Clarify if you're saying that to me. I want clarification if you're saying that to me. Here's my dad's Bible from Beckwith Church in DeRidder, Louisiana. I swear to God, and I swear on the graves of my grandparents, and the lives of my parents, and the lives of all of my family members, and myself and my soul, in the name of Jesus Christ, that I'm a real targeted individual. I'm not getting paid by anybody. I swear in the name of, I promise in the name of Jesus Christ, whichever one is not sacrilegious, I promise. I am a TI, and I'm going through this. I'm being targeted with remote neural manipulation. I'm being hit with external microwaves. My nervous system is being ripped apart. I'm working as hard as I can to put out these mainstream news stories. We are so close. I'm shilling for the UN. I don't care who's going after this program or talking about it. I don't care, Wayne. You doing that is way more suspicious. You telling people not to send letters to the UN, don't send letters out, no one's going to help us. It stops people from doing it, and it stops us from getting help. You're more of a perp than anybody else. Who cares? Who cares if Niels Melzer's in the UN? He's talking about this. I don't care. I'm not shilling for the UN. I'm going in the direction of anybody talking about this and anybody that can fix this for us. F you, buddy. Get off of here. Get out of here. You get the F out of here. Okay, I'll read that later. Like, I mentioned his name, we were talking about the UN, and I didn't disrespect him, and I said, Wayne doesn't think that the UN will help. He's doing a good job. It was all out of respect. It was all out of respect, and I didn't say anything bad about him. And he came and he commented and he said, why is your name even in my mouth? After live streams where he was on the live stream with me, he built up his channel with my channel, right? And that's fine. And that's fine. And he said, why is your name in my mouth? And I privated that video, and I sent him an email, and I said, man, I was saying that you were disagreeing with me, but I was saying it out of respect. That was not an attack on you. He never responded. He didn't want me in his live streams. I didn't want to be at his live streams. He didn't want to be at my live streams. That's what we were doing. He's doing his thing. I was doing my thing. After he said, why is my name in your mouth? It was done. Go do your thing on your live streams. Why are you coming over here? And the timing of it is very suspect, where you're coming in here and you're accusing me while you're telling people not to write the UN, don't try and get help, nobody's going to help us and stuff like that. You're the one who's doing perpy things, because we got these huge things coming up where people are reporting this. We have avenues and agencies that will take our reports that we're being targeted. What are you talking about, bro? You're so suspect. You are so suspect. You're so effing suspect, Wayne. You sit there and you're like, good, nobody's gonna help us and all. I don't care what you say. We're going and we're doing this. I don't care what anybody who's like, oh, well, don't talk to the UN and blah, blah, blah. If you send your stuff to the UN, they're going to know more. No, they got our information. We have to send these people testimonies and stuff like that. You're suspect, dude. And then you come in here and you accuse me of being a perp. I associate with perps and stuff like that. Jeff's not a perp. I've talked to Jeff a million times. He tells me about like heart attacks that he's having, talking to his dad about it and everything. He should win the best Oscar in the universe if he's a perp. What the hell is going on? Like, it's like 5:30 in the morning. This is the most important information. Dude, everybody in here was fighting. And then there were people that I haven't seen in months. I haven't seen Wayne, and he's been doing his thing. Why tonight, why this time, when things are going on that are big? Go do your thing, man. Tell people what you want to tell them. There's a million TIs speaking out because this is a bigger issue. Don't come over here and target me and say that I'm a perp. Go tell people what you want to tell them. I was letting you do that. I came to one of your live streams to support you. I brought the UN up. You said, you were basically like, no, the UN's not going to help us. And then you ignored me in your live stream. It seemed like you didn't want me there. So I was like, okay, whatever. He can just do his thing. We have disagreements. I mentioned it on one video. You say something like, get your name out of my mouth. It's done. Go do your thing. You shouldn't be talking to me. You shouldn't be coming in here. Everybody. Charles Verley says, leave Kevin alone. Leave Kevin alone. Kevin's a very strong guy. I wish Kevin would just jump on all this mainstream news stuff about this. I wonder what he thinks about this stuff. I'd like to know that. Kevin, if you're watching this, I'd like to see some videos of you reading these articles and talking about what you think about it, because it's what's happening to us, man. It's a what is tonight? The wise man says full moon tonight. It's a full moon tonight in the big town. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Are you all right? Charles really said, "Why are you dogging Kevin?" Are you talking to me? I like Kevin. I like Kevin Christian. I think he's a really strong guy. Who is dogging Kevin Christian? Hey, Apex Queen, how you doing? Cheryl says this is becoming a real shit show. This live stream was maybe the most important information for targeted. Do y'all realize that? Does everybody realize that? That these articles that I pulled out for these live streams was maybe the most important information right now. That we need to think about ways to use this information and get letters to them. I would hate to... no, iFlack, you didn't do anything. Oh, yeah, Charles. Some people, well, I don't know. You want me to read some of this? I think I've calmed down a little bit. I was getting, my adrenaline was like going in the wrong way, and I was just like, because I don't want to talk to Wayne. He didn't want to talk to me. He was doing his own thing. Why is he coming over here? Like, it would be fine if he came to the live stream and was just like talking to everybody, but he's like accusing everybody of stuff, trying to start fights and stuff. Oh, man. It's a full-blown attack. This is a full-blown attack on my channel. I'm not going to read this. I'll do a regular video and read that. I'm going to make it better because it's just not. Is everybody blocking each other and stuff, and people are coming in here and they're saying stuff and certain people can't see them? Don't do that. Like, if you're a real targeted individual, just come into the chat so people can see what you're saying. If you're not saying anything bad that's going to screw everything up, there should be no problem. Why the hell is Wayne coming in here where Jeff can't see him and he's telling everybody else stuff about Jeff? When Jeff's just it screws my live stream up. Jeff's just coming in here to to be in the chat, and it just screws the whole thing up. Drew says, dude, I almost want to stay up all night just to support you, Kyle. This has been a crazy night. The sun's coming up over here in NC. Thanks for coming, Jerusha. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We'll try and fix things off, but like, seriously, Wayne, stay over on your channel, man. What you said to me and what happened, you shouldn't be over here. Like, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to start fights, and I know that's what it's going to do. Tonight is going to, if anybody at this point makes up like fake accounts and makes trouble for other TI channels and stuff like that, how in the hell is Wayne thinking that I'm a perp? Like, we need to go after these mainstream things. This is hope for us. What is he talking about? I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, don't mention the UN talking about this. Don't mention what the United States is investigating. Like, they're not to be trusted, so let's just not talk to anybody? It's crazy. Crazy. That's craziness. I don't trust it. Like, I'm not. I'll stop. But I don't know. We were doing our own thing, and I like that, and that was good for me. After what you said to me, you said it out as such disrespect. After you'd been on my channel for so long, you came on here every night. We were doing live streams, me and you doing panels, and your channel got big because people knew you. So like, I helped you to build your channel. I'm not saying I made your channel, but maybe a little bit of gratefulness. Yeah, I'm a perp helping you make a YouTube channel. I'm a little bit suspicious of you now, to come over with such important information. Look, and that's what everybody's going to focus on, the drama in the chat, and everybody's going to focus on this. They got us. They got us on this one. I'm going to have to do this over. Like, I'm going to make a regular video on these. I may erase this video. I'm not sure yet. Probably not. I'll just leave it up. Yeah, I talked to Stacy like actually on voice phone, so I know she's not a chatterbot. I talked to Slack on voice phone, I know he's not a chatterbot. Man, I'm not doing good with the targeting. I thought we were gonna kick ass tonight and just all be happy about this stuff, and it was like people I hadn't seen in months just coming in and like starting fights and stuff like that. Six, hey, is that Shanifnik? Are you using a new name? Six, the chosen one, says TIs need to email the affidavits gathered by Kay Horton, targeted UK testimonies, including your own testimony, to senators, mainstream news, and the UN. This is required to focus and provide evidence. I agree completely. Affidavits. I guess I need to make an affidavit. I'm gonna just start with my letters. I'm going to start with the letters, testimonies to the senators, and then I need to get my affidavit done and just send it to everybody. Brian 2 says, Kyle, the real public can only see your videos, YouTube videos, that the supercomputers allow them to see. There is a filter between the targeted individual and real-time public visibility of content. Yeah, I believe that they hold our videos back from like getting into the stream, right? The YouTube stream, the algorithm. But there's a lot of real targeted individuals, and I think there's a lot of people who were maybe on the fence about this in the truth community who probably do watch my videos. So it's just like it's like a smaller channel, kind of like Davy Crocco, and he got kicked off of YouTube. Davy Crocco is targeted, I think. But it's just a channel like that has a lot of trouble, but real people come in here. And then I think that, informant type people come in here too, maybe like a little percentage, but I don't think they're using the chatterbox technology on my channel, right? They may be doing that on bigger channels, right? Using chatterbot, but I don't think they do that on my channel. What Tanya? Tanya says, that is wonderful, Kyle. So happy for you, mate. What happened? Yeah, 6, I can see your message. Hi. Hello. Hello, my name is Kyle. So that was important information, and we're just hanging out now, and I don't know what to do about all the fighting. I know what to do about Wayne. Sorry, Wayne. Like, you can't just come over here, and the timing's way weird. And like what you're trying to do, and what I'll shut up, man. It just doesn't make sense when you have big things going on, and the UN at a General Assembly just has to say one sentence, that we wouldn't bombard them with all the testimonies and information that we could. There's no, like, I'm not some agent with some kind of, I'll get them to email the UN and then the UN's gonna get them. I'm a TI and I want to survive this. And we need these organizations and the good people in them that are clueless to get a clue and then start causing some friction and some snowballing. We need that. I don't see how people don't see that. And I don't care. And I don't care. No offense. No offense. My life is on the line. My family's life is on the line. These people who are real targets in the chat, their life is on the line. I don't care what you think, man. Like, we disagree. That's fine. But I'm right. Like, I'm moving forward. Like, you can think whatever you want. Like, just sitting there and going, nobody's going to help us, we can't trust anybody, that's a death sentence. You're in the kill box. You're waiting. You're just going to wait. Like, maybe your targeting is at that point where it's like, I don't want to trust you. My targeting is not at that point. My brain is it's a real risk of me getting like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's for good, or a brain tumor, or just like totally not being able to, my neurons just being fried. So, and I think your targeting is bad too, Wayne. That's what I think. Oh, wow. Okay, now I'm getting, okay, great. Now I'm getting text saying that they don't, wow, this is an incredible night. I want to just sit here. I want to just sit here right now. Catherine Horton is a TI. Anybody that doesn't think that Dr. Horton's a TI, you just watch her first videos. Watch what she's going through. She went through the same things that I went through. Like, I was putting aluminum foil in my head and trying to do everything and making videos crying out. You look at, you could, if you can look at somebody in their testimonies and say, wow, if they are acting, they need to receive the Oscar for the universe. Like, they are the best actress or actor in the universe. Like, and I'd have to say that about Dr. Horton. If she's acting, she's the best actress that exists, over Meryl Streep, over anybody. And if you can say that, then they're a real TI. Yeah, Charles Rose, Dr. Horton is a TI. I really agree. A bunch of people, Stacy, Jeff, and a bunch of people are texting me. We're just gonna sit here in this. This is how we defeat it. We just sit in it. It's just like in Batman, where the bats are flying all around him, and he used to be scared of bats, and the bats are flying, bats in the circle, they're bats flying around him. And he goes like that. Just gonna sit in it. Just sit in it, dude. Yeah, Tyler says, holy crap, dude, the kill box, no shiz, dude. That's what I'm doing. Nothing is not a plan. Doing nothing is not. Sometimes it is. When there's no options, sometimes you got to do nothing. That's the action to take. But when there's stuff that's huge, and it's like, I mean, the UN, think about it. The UN is what I've been dreaming. I was like, every country is doing this. If America just stops it, Russia and China going with their weapons program, the UN has to say something about it. I know there are complications with Agenda 2030 and all those things. I don't care about all those things. And I'm not saying I don't care about human life and the New World Order takeover. We have enough on our plates with a global torture program. And we can do something about it because we have information about it. If people know about more about this, it can clear up a lot of the other bigger problems, right? So I don't care about Agenda 2030 or any of that stuff. I care about Niels Melzer looking like he's pretty honest and wanting to solve the Julian Assange situation and like saying that he's going to try and help us, right? I don't care about anybody else in the UN right now. I don't mean I don't care about these bad things happening, but y'all know what I mean. This is my mission. I'm targeted. I don't trust anybody that doesn't think I'm a targeted individual. I've sworn on the Bible like 30 times. I've done the trust protocol, and nobody else will do it. Nobody else will do it. Like you can tell, I forget stuff. My memory's being messed with. How would I act that? I'll read what you're saying, Brian, but I don't know, man. I don't agree with that at all. That's way off. That's way off. Brian 2 says almost every person in your chat room is a chatterbot. 99% are chatterbots. Even the cyber stalkers that come onto your live stream videos are reading from scripts. I just think it's too much. What you're saying is too much. I think there's a little bit of that. There's cyber-placed agents. I don't think they're using chatterbox technology on a small channel like mine. Maybe bigger channels they do that to influence people or whatever, but it's not. And there's maybe, as we get closer and closer, I don't think there's a lot of fake TIs, because they know that this is murdering everybody. There's a bigger picture, right? So I don't know. There probably are, but I don't care. Let's move forward. That's not going to help us. Like any of that stuff, we're so close to big stuff that any of that, like even if somebody is a perp and you're like, oh, they're a perp, it's not going to help anything. Just get away from them. Like they can't do much at this point. Like anybody who is not a real TI or like whatever, doing disinformation or whatever, they can't do much at this point. Hey Biggie, Biggie, can't you see? Oh no, we got another fight? We have another fight. I thought if we just sat here that maybe we could have another fight in chat. And it happened. Hey, I'm praying right now, guys. I'm going to pray right now. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. In the name of Jesus Christ, dear Lord, fix this. Fix this fighting. We're so close. We're so close to saving our lives, to getting medical help, to getting better defenses, to getting a window to jump through, getting some good men and women who didn't know this was going on, pushing and fighting for us. Please put that hope in the mind of every target individual. The enemy is attacking. The enemy is attacking. We're close. We're close. Thank you for bringing us so close, Lord, but help us. Help to just put your blood, put the blood of Jesus on every targeted individual to just stop the remote neural manipulation, to just make it go away. And we only hear your voice. We hear your voice, God. We hear your voice. Our eyes are focused on you, your miracles, your future, your destiny for us. Not theirs, not this world's, not evil, not low resonance. Yours, your high resonance, the angels, life affirming, life saving. Do no harm. Please just put peace in everybody's hearts, target individuals, anybody hurt by tyranny. Give us strength to get through these times. Give us strength to do what we need to do to cut off the head of this hydra. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. I can't read that, SHP. She took data from the wife of a billionaire who is a TI, including... Was that a good thing? Like she got evidence and she's gonna put it out? Hey, Mouvette. Amen. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. We have got a chain of creation of high resonance angels all the way up to God, and they love us, and they want to see humanity continue in creation. They create this beautiful brain that we have, in our heart and our soul. We are fighting for humanity, guys. I know that people don't want to hear that. This is important, Prioritize your life. Prioritize your life, Is it going to help to say something to somebody and stir stuff up? Is it going to help, Yeah, this is, we need to look, I'm going to keep this up so we can study this. I will be studying this. What happened? Yeah, Stacy says, just redo, Kyle. Tomorrow is a new day. I put out important information. Like, I'm fine. I show my ass on this channel all the time. That's the beautiful thing about it. Like, I say cringy stuff all the time because I'm up here for so long. I'm not perfect at all, so I don't really mind if things go wrong. I really didn't want to say anything about Wayne because me and Wayne, we haven't been talking for months. He said something very disrespectful to me. I sent him an email because I thought maybe he thought I was attacking him, and he didn't respond, so I was like, okay, he'll do his own thing. And that was it. We didn't have any big fallout or anything. We differed in our opinions, and he went his way and I went mine. And then when all this big news coming out, why would I be putting out this huge news about what's going on in the U.S. about an investigation about remote microwave attacks if I'm a perp? Why would he be coming in here and accuse me of that at this time? You see what it did, right? And that it makes me suspicious. You know. Hey, the exposure. I don't know, and you guys who like Wayne, that's fine. And I'm not accusing him of anything. I find it very suspicious, you know. Find it very suspicious. Oh, wow. Y'all want to close it on out? Y'all want to maybe listen to a song? No, it's like 5:45. We've been going for about 3 hours. We got out the important information. I don't know what happened. Thank you, SHP. I appreciate that. I think that you're doing a good job too, and I think you're on to something, you know. I think this stuff just gets messed up. We're all paranoid of each other, but you know, we're getting so close. Like, we're getting real things, and I feel like let's deprioritize some of the stuff we can't do anything about right now, right? There's stuff that's happening, and I understand, and I'm not trying to ignore it, right? But there's really nothing we can do about that right now. Like, we need to go for the big stuff that we can do something really big, and then the stuff that we can't do anything about, it falls off, because without this, it can't work, right? You see what I'm saying? You go for the big stuff, we get it better for it, and then you're going to see less fake TIs. You're going to see less of all that because it's going to be coming out. Everybody's going to know that we're being killed. It's going to be a big public thing, and they're not going to, you know, it's not going to be as much. So we can defeat it with a counterintuitive measure. All this is counterintuitive. Forget your instincts, right? I just watched a Saw movie where it was like this. It was like, oh, it was Saw 6? No, it was Saw 5. Saw 5. I don't know if it was Saw 5 or Saw 6. I think it was Saw 5. And it's this group of people, and, you know, every test that they have, they can work together, right? But they don't. They're like survival of the fittest, blah, blah, blah. And one of them dies, like every test, right? And they get to the end, and they all need it to stick their arms in these things to get blood out. If they were all alive at the end, it would have taken just a little bit of blood away from each of them. But since there were only 2 left, they almost died doing it because they were all supposed to work together to get to the end, right? And in the thing, the point is in the thing he said, forget your instincts, right? Because the instincts when you're in trouble is just like, you know, fight people and stuff like that. This is a counterintuitive fight where we've got to go for higher up stuff, this mainstream stuff, and bringing this stuff out. The public is our greatest weapon, is our only weapon. The public is the only thing that can get the Pentagon and DARPA and these agencies to stop doing what they're doing. It's the only thing. Not straight to the courts, not straight to the police, not straight to anywhere else. The public awareness is the only thing that will scare these people into stopping these programs. Straight up. Then you can get court cases. Then you can do the other stuff, right? Then they'll look at your evidence. But it has to be, because they're lying. The people doing this stuff are criminals and they're lying. It has to be brought out into light. And the only way to do that is more of the public knowing about it. Then, after that, all the court cases and those things and the evidence will be counted, right? So it's a cart before the horse. Usually the horse is before the cart in every logical thing. But if you think about this problem, they set it up that way so that people would go by their instincts and try and like win a court case, like they're a targeted individual, go win a court case. You can't do that. National security, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, well, we can't shut the whole thing down. Yeah, that's what we got to go for. That's what we got to go for, and it's happening on its own, and we just got to push it, you know. Okay, Terrorized Germany says, affidavits are one part of defense. We must collect irrefutable evidences, measurements. Some of us have the equipment, but who? I got measurement equipment for about $10,000 or whoa. You know, I don't know. I think we should just get, you know, the EMF readers and things like that, record it. If you can get that kind of equipment, yeah, go for it. I don't know. The public awareness is going to happen. The public's going to have to know this is happening to citizens before they'll even look at like an e-meter and say, oh, that's something, right? Because you can put up an e-meter anywhere, and there's electromagnetic frequencies frying everybody, not just direct targeted individuals, right? So some of this evidence, it will be poo-pooed away by whoever you take it to, right? Because they don't agree with the premise that it's happening to you. If they need that premise of this is happening to you, then they'll look at your evidence, right? It's weird, I know, but it's coming. It's happening, right? It's happening. And this is just what I think about it. We all have different ideas and stuff. I'm just saying what I think, I'm not Mr. I know everything or anything like that. Hey, Empowered PBBUK. Thank you for coming. I don't think I said hi to you earlier. I'm sorry. Hey, Dennis said, after hit hard, when body heals from non-ionizing radiation, the body puts off a certain healing protein. When it's healing? Is there any kind of supplement that could increase that healing? I really want to continue to cleanse my pineal gland. I have this thing, Doc of Detox, and it decalcifies the pineal gland, and it gets fluoride out of the brain. It makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel a lot more high resonance, because I believe that the pineal gland is an antenna. I believe that the if you want to call it Illuminati or whatever, the priest, the high priest is what they called themselves way back when. I think that they knew that the pineal gland was an antenna. To what? To who? Angels, maybe? Maybe angels. Maybe aliens. Paul Abernathy says, you are just hardcore, Kyle. I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know. I guess so. We're all hardcore, huh? Aren't we all very hardcore? Being targeted this long, being tortured. I don't think we should let anything normal get to us. We're being murdered, Man, we got 3 yards to go. We got 3 yards. We don't even have to do a pass play. We don't even have to do a Hail Mary. I was thinking there'd be a time when I'd have to do a Hail Mary on this, and I don't know even what that would entail. But we're at the 3-yard line, man. We're at the 2-yard line. Oh yeah, it's long. We've been on for about 3 hours. Sometimes we're on for 4. It hasn't been that long. I want to sit in it. I don't want to, because my instinct was I'm going to shut this live stream down. Too many people are fighting. I just want to sit in it. Because we've got real stuff, and I just want to get used to, there's going to be a lot of arrows. There's going to be a lot of fire arrows coming at me, coming at you guys. There's going to be a lot of people fighting, a lot of remote neural manipulation, and whatever. I just want to sit like the bats. Think of the bats, guys and gals. In the first Batman, how he's afraid of bats, and then he just lets the bats fly all around him, and he just drinks it in, because there's no fear. All right, there's no fear with God. There's no fear with our powerful God. Turn everything around. Turn everything around and ask God to give you the priorities that you need to gain victory in this impossible situation. And He will answer. He will answer with something along your path, or something inside of you that happens, or supplements, or defenses, or something big happening about the directed energy weapon attacks. These people, I was talking about asymmetrical warfare that looks looks normal, looks natural, like weather warfare, directed energy weapon attacks, supposed to make us just look naturally mentally ill. God, in His chain of command, high resonance, all the way up to God, infinite times infinite, they can make things look like real like miracles that happen. And it's like creation. It's like God can affect His simulation of creation, which is more than infinite times more incredible than a video game simulation or something like that. But chain of command all the way up to God, they can make things look natural through this creation that they have made. It's amazing. This universe, these precious lives we have, what we are truly connected to, the evil ones want us to disconnect from, not believe in, forget about it, right? You connect to that thing even in the darkest times. You can find joy, and human life is still beautiful and precious. I promise. It's done for me. Like, experienced it a million times, concretely. Feeling this way about something when I'm like chemically depressed and stuff like that, but making a choice of faith and that something good will come along, right? And it's worked every time. I swear. Maybe the timing's bad. Yeah, Stacy says very important to do at this time since they are investigating Havana. Yeah. Stacy says, anyway, everyone write your letters to the Senate Intelligence Committee. Yeah, totally. That was the important part of the live stream. Write the letters to those senators. Okay, yeah, I am too. Alright, guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And just write letters to the senators. And I put both of those in the description. I put both of those little articles. One of them is from Susan Collins' website. I think it was what she kind of wrote about it. Others, what senators were saying about it. Steven says harder than the bread at Walmart. Yeah, I agree with that. Terrorize Germany, I agree. Says you need a lot of different devices, filters, antennas, amplifiers, attenuators, mixers, and on and on. Oh, you're talking about like building something? Okay. Alright, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Be strong. SHP says, have a sleep comp. My stuff got sent to all of your... Sent it by Karen. Okay. Yeah, I got to work on it. I'll do a little video where I want to get a first draft done of what I write to Marco Rubio, and I'll read it on a video. Alright, guys. I love y'all. Good night, Cheryl. Good night, Stacy. Good night, Wise Ninja. Good night, Apex Queen. Good night, Charles of Hurley. Good night, Santa Claus. Good night, Muffin Man. Good night, Dennis. Dennis says we need tax experts with good hearts. Yes. We're going to get them. They're coming. And it's going to be people who aren't targeted. They're going to come out of the woodwork in the military and stuff like that because they're going to be investigating what this is. This is going to go on where they're like, what is that mysterious thing, blah, blah. And then they're going to have people that are explaining the frequencies and everything like that. It's probably still stalling, though, Yeah, Terrorized Jeremy said, God and the angels are protecting us, most definitely. We have protectors, guys. We have protectors if you ask. If you ask and you reach out in faith. Stacy says, good night, bot Brian. I think Brian's a bot. I'm just kidding. But he's way off on everybody because I've talked to most of y'all. The majority of people in my chat, I've talked to on the phone at one time or another. Or a good percentage, Apex Queen says, Kyle, it's me, Tansy. Okay. I didn't know that was you. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. As long as you tell me. I mean, I don't know. I think if you just don't want anybody to know you're to do a new thing and you just kind of want to be in chat is I think it's cool. But if you're people who do it to cause trouble, I don't like. And I know you're not doing that, Tansy. You're cool. Hey, good night, PA man. All right, I'm gonna close it on down, guys. I love y'all. Y'all stay strong. Okay. Oh, I just pushed not yet in the broadcast. I want to do. I'm not gonna do it tonight. I want to do a thing where I say that I'm ending the broadcast, but I don't end the broadcast, and then y'all think that I think that I've ended the broadcast, and I just start cussing and F the world, and I just start throwing things around, right? And then I look at the screen, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't end it. But that would be a little bit Andy Kaufman. Y'all would think it was real, and it could cause problems. Yeah, everybody have a great day, guys. Hey, Adrian. Adrian says, good night, Colin. Everyone, lots of love from Sydney. Lots of love to you, too. And Tyler, thanks for coming, Tyler. Tyler says, alums are awesome. I love alums unless they're xenomorphs. And we'll end it on that. I love you guys.